firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance. So when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
The Morning Xtra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Morning Extra on the most overlooked day of the week. The one that doesn't get enough respect. It's Tuesday. We're going to give it its due today, dang it. Tug, Rhino, and Front Office Los on the Morning Extra. Today, we get the Talkmaster, Neil Bortz. And if there's something to celebrate, that's it. And, Los, the question is, have you ever gotten Pyongyang before?
Yeah, have you?
No, I hadn't actually considered
It's
this.
itchy as hell.
Man, itchy.
Okay.
You get diarrhea.
Yeah, it's awful.
Dry cough.
I was not aware of how this all goes.
Yeah, you don't want any part of this Pyongyang.
I'm learning.
I just heard about it this morning myself, and yeah, no, they were talking about Putin going to Pyongyang for the first time in 24 years, and I was like, that sounds like a disease, Rhino. It sounds like something you
I got the Pyongyang again.
Oh my God, I can't get off the pot. I've got the Pyongyang. Yeah, exactly. That's what Pyongyang sounds like. It sounds like something you get and you can't get rid of.
Boy, are you going to be labeled as a racist?
I know, but that's
it's true. It does sound like something bad.
I mean, it does sound like an STD.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know what? I didn't know where she's been.
Turns out she's got the Pyongyang.
I got the Pyongyang.
Oh.
Is it itchy?
Yes. It itches and then it burns.
Do you get a rash?
As soon as you scratch it, it burns. That's the worst.
Just works very quietly.
Yeah. It slips up on you.
Not very happy.
Yeah. Anywho, I guess.
I mean, if you were to,
not the way we should have started, but
and not that you would ever record this for our own enjoyment, but if you were to call your wife and say, "Hey, I've got some bad news. I've got the Pyongyang," and I think I might have given it to you through sexual contact. I'm not sure she handles it well.
No, she's gonna be like, "Hold up, what? What are you talking?"
I was with a very questionable woman, and I got the Pyongyang from it.
She had scabs.
She did.
It's terrible.
I thought it was meth at first, but
turns out it's
Pyongyang.
Who even knew?
Who knew?
I don't know what to do, baby. I'm sorry. I feel like I've been a good husband except that one moment, but it burns.
It burns.
And that's what's coming your way.
My Pyongyang is acting up.
It's coming your way soon.
You never know when it's going to hit either.
That's right. It flares up.
Yeah.
Some days it's worse than others.
Yeah.
You know?
You see, it's like herpes except worse. That's the Pyongyang.
That's right. I'm telling you, man, this is awful.
Poor Joe. Joe's the only one in this. When it comes to this radio show, well, him and Andrew,
Intern Andrew.
They're actually going to still have to deal with the idea of ever getting an STD.
A bad one.
A bad one.
Oh,
Bad one.
you guys.
And intern Andrew's like, again, he's a collegiate athlete.
Yeah.
It's a good opportunity there for STDs.
Yeah, good. He could definitely come down with Pyongyang.
Like Joe?
Probably not.
Probably not.
No, I'm telling you, I bet Joe has lost at least 3 pounds in the last 30 hours. Guess what he's been doing?
What has he been doing?
Fasting.
What? How has this happened?
30 hours he's in.
Yeah, you don't look any different to me.
Oh, thanks.
No, good for you. Hey.
Well, last I ate was like 6:30ish on Sunday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
that's good.
yesterday I had some stomach troubles, so I just didn't eat yesterday.
You did get the Pyongyang.
I did.
Oh, my Lord. Who'd you get it from, Joe? That's the thing we want to know.
Andrew.
Our
intern gave me that. That's fine.
all right.
It happens. No, I hit hour 25 yesterday, and my mom, because she's in town, insisted on dinner. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll knock this thing out. I mean, again, I was humming right along. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and make, my 36 without a problem. So I got up this morning and decided, all right, Mom's in town one more day. We'll do a little breakfast in the morning. That's what's going to happen. But tomorrow, and I have it in my bag, I've got all my water and everything else like that. So whatever the time I eat at the end, I'm going to try and shoot for the full 36.
I was a complete failure yesterday. I was doing really well almost all day, and then Erin called and she said, hey, what do you think about making me a shrimp and steak Alfredo?
Yes.
And I was like,
All she said was, shrimp, and you're like, done.
Yes, do it.
Grab me some cream, and I'll see you at home. I'll start prepping everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I ended up cooking, and that's her new thing now, by the way. She's like, well, you're the chef. What's for dinner?
You do it. You do it.
Yeah, so she told me, well, we got steak and shrimp, and I said, all right, I'll make you a steak and shrimp Alfredo. And, of course, I'm not going to sit that one out.
No, that would be, that would be unholy, I believe.
But, I might have come down with the case of the Pyongyang, so it is out of my system.
Does Erin know? Have you let her know about your Pyongyang?
No, I'm gonna go see a professional first and then bring that news back to her. But
okay.
I think tomorrow, I agree. I think I really want to try this. I really need to kind of cleanse out my system, and I think it's a really good opportunity to start that. I set up everything in the gym because Liam's been big into, hey, he's starting to get muscular. He's like 14. He's starting to get like his back muscles, and he's still in his Choi Kwando with his black belt and continuing down there.
All that training's going to blow him up.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm ready to get add some muscle on because he's so skinny. He's like complete opposite of me, so skinny. So I was like, you know what? We've got the heavy bag downstairs. We've got everything ready to go. I got the mats out there. I got weights. Let's start doing a routine. So we're going to start doing that through the summer. So I was like, you know what? Starting this week, we're going to go for the fasting diet and start getting back into shape.
All right. So I did 13 hours yesterday, and then I did have dinner with my wife. She made these grilled pork chops. Pork chops my favorite.
Well, the problem is we have to hit 36.
I know, and the best I've done is 25 so far, and Joe's about 6 hours from 36, so he's going to get a pork fried rice for breakfast.
Oh, yeah, I am. I'm excited.
I don't think that's what you're supposed to do, though, is go full back into the worst things you can eat, is it? I think you're supposed to regulate your system.
The goal is that, once you reset your system, that Joe then goes beyond, and so suddenly he eats like a rabbit. I don't think Joe's going to eat like a rabbit.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
That's a big boy.
No, he's going to go to... Look, the gentleman has a really good palate. He understands good food. He's going to go to places like the Atlanta Food Festivals and stuff like that. He's going to take dates because he gets free tickets. So I think that is something that, I don't know, can you do that?
Did that bartender, is she still up for that sort of stuff, or have you kicked that one
cool.
curb? Okay.
We went and we got sushi the other day.
Nice. Okay.
There. All right.
Yeah, that hurt my wallet.
Does sushi play in a decent diet, or no?
No. Sushi's good.
I love sushi.
It's the rice that, is really the worst part of that, but even that's not as bad because it's such a low amount of rice that you have. I guess it depends on how much sushi or how, deep fried sushi, or if it's deep fried.
Deep fried.
Yeah.
Well, if it's all raw.
Yeah, that's because I like sashimi. I like all that stuff too. But
that tuna.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so good. So I'm at 12 hours again. So I went. I guess it would have been 13 hours yesterday, and then I'm at 12 hours again this morning because I obviously ate
waiting that long.
5:30.
You might as well go 24:36.
That's what I plan to do.
Okay.
That was that's good. That's the goal here.
Okay.
And to see if we can make it to 24. But we'll see.
I just love the idea that we challenge each other to starve ourselves.
I know, right? But I was reading. No, but it's good, man.
Push-up,
I was reading this morning that intermittent fasting. It was a BBC report that intermittent fasting is really good for you, and then they went into how good it is for people who are facing cancer. To intermittently
That's the idea.
fast.
You are basically resetting the immune system on a regular basis.
Yeah. So but twice a week is what they recommend.
And the goal is if you can do 3 to 5 days when you're initially first starting off. But yes, if you can do it multiple times during the week, then it's supposed to be very helpful to those people that are dealing with that stuff.
Man, it's pretty impressive.
Especially turbo cancers.
Oh my God.
By the way, I had a fun discussion last night of having to point out the fact that somebody wanted me to give them a double-blind study on it, and I was like, what more do you need?
Yeah.
The insurance companies are like, why do we have 40% more people dying of this stuff over the last 4 years? don't know.
No, it's not linked at all. Like, don't look at, don't open your eyes. And that's the one thing that I'm getting really frustrated with people about is we have the ability to look through so many different avenues to find the answers. I know we're not going to find them on X, but you're going to find the story and then be able to investigate it yourself. And once you get in and deeply investigate it, like, open your eyes. If you see something, if you read something, yes, there are plenty of fakes out there, but you can do the research to find out the truth. But also, sometimes, when there's smoke, there's fire. So just keep looking at the smoke and keep investigating. You'll find the fire. And that's what Carlos has done better than anyone else when it came to the COVID.
The COVID. That's what Mama said.
And the vaccine injuries that have come from it.
I guess I'm just bothered by the fact that when people point out, like, well, where's the double-blind study? And I'm like, do you realize that if we were to try and pick out, let's say, 1,000 people, 1,000 patients, and we're going to go ahead and study this stuff, do you realize how much that costs? And typically, if you don't understand how the game works, what happens is Big Pharma will pay for these studies in order to get their drugs approved. They don't pay for these studies to get their drugs not approved.
That's right. So they're going to
like, how dumb are you to think that somehow they pay for these massive studies to make sure that something doesn't get approved or that it gets taken off the market? Oh my God.
It's like Coca-Cola launching a new, new drink or whatever, and they got to get it by the FDA, and they're like, no, it's really good for you. The study, I've got the study right here. It tells you how good Coca-Cola is for you.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 doctors recommend Coca-Cola.
And and cigarettes. What was the old
cigarettes? The Lucky Strikes.
That's right.
They used to go to like a doctor's conference and hand them out, and whatever doctor took them, whether the doctor threw them away in the garbage or not, if they took them. As 4 out of 5 doctors took a pack of cigarettes.
I mean, if you ever have seen you can watch. It's a drama. It's a docudrama. If you ever watch Painkiller on Netflix, and you see the dramatization of what went on when it comes to OxyContin and what they did in order to get it finally approved by the FDA. And we'll never exactly know, but the last line of defense was one gentleman. And he was the one who was like, no, not going to happen. And then the big pharma company took him out on a weekend. And before you knew it, it finally got through and created an epidemic in this country that killed hundreds of thousands of people.
Took him out for the weekend, meaning like on a yacht or some joyride.
Nobody knows what happened behind those doors.
Senseless? Yeah.
Nobody. And by the way, when he left the FDA, you know who he went to work for? Big Pharma.
Wow.
That means it was a yacht trip. There was no beating involved. It was a yacht trip. Yeah. And then he gets the job with them after. Come on.
And by the way, that was never in that show. Yet that's exactly what happened.
Must have been a DEI hire.
Yeah, could have been. Yeah. There's been a few of those.
Or corruption, whatever.
One of the two. Seems
two.
like we have a whole lot of both these days. Goodness gracious.
Kind of go hand in hand.
It does. It feels that way. Y'all, I took stairs this morning. I'm getting back on the horse.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like in the main building?
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of the elevator.
Don't say that, because I get in trouble every day for not taking them, and now you're going to get me in trouble.
You're the one that like triggered it for me.
I did it 3 times in like 7 months.
Right. So I've done it once since I used to do it.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, well, these floors are really long. Like the first 2 flights of steps is 8 steps, and then it goes to 13. I don't know why I was counting.
Me too. But I counted every single one of them. Yeah, it's about 87 steps, I think, total.
I know when I got up and Joe said good morning, I was like, good morning, Joe.
Yeah.
Just struggling.
Yeah.
It's not so bad till you get like to the 3rd floor, and then it really starts. You're like,
my quads were burning.
Oh, yeah.
My glutes were burning. Everything was burning.
Why is being healthy so hard?
I don't know. Well, because anything that's good, you have to work for, right?
Well, that's just unfair.
I know it is. It's a terrible way of setting things up. But
broccoli should taste like chocolate.
Although I do love broccoli.
Ooh,
Me too.
I will. Properly seasoned.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love broccoli.
Me too, man.
I've always loved it.
Do you not like broccoli?
Oh, I love broccoli, but I just like...
You like chocolate more?
I can get chocolate in a store and put it in my pocket and eat it all day.
Right.
Broccoli, you can't really carry around and eat it all day.
No, that's right.
Right now, there's broccoli in my fridge. Again, seasoned with like a little bit of something, gives a little bite to it. I would eat that every day before I'd even get near chocolate.
Oh, no, I can't say that. So do I. Broccoli is one of my favorites, too. It's 6 of one, half dozen the other, man.
Yeah.
I could go either way, depending on which one you put in front of me and what day.
But I also do, well, you know what? Let's have some broccoli and this cheese sauce over it.
Oh, see, Laura roasts it. And
roasting is great.
It is so good. Like, I don't know what she puts
The
on it.
treetops get a little crispy.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's so good. So good. So good.
Yeah,
And,
it's great in oil and garlic. It's
dude, broccoli is
fantastic.
amazing. I love Brussels.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Man, I love vegetables, and I wish I ate them more. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Laura makes them at dinner every night, but like for lunch, it's like my routine is such that it makes it hard to eat vegetables because I usually just grab a sandwich or something, and then take a nap. Or
I like to see. This is my hope that I get through this fast, and then in the mornings I want to start bringing like little carrots, the baby carrots, and celery that I cut. I like to keep them in like nice cold water, and then just snack on those.
Yeah.
Because those to me are very sweet. Carrots are very sweet to me because they are a lot of glucose and sugars. So I do enjoy them, and they are that kind of sweet treat. That's the hard part for me, is replacing the good sweets. Or when I say good, I mean bad for you sweets.
Yeah.
But like Reese's
Good
peanut butter
tasties.
cups with something like carrots and celery. And now I do celery with like a little bit of peanut butter. And when I was losing weight the first time, I made sure to take out a tablespoon of peanut butter, and that's what I allowed myself. And I would like stretch it real thin on every piece of like carrot,
so you get a little bit of flavor.
But at
on
least
all
I
of it.
got that like kind of peanut butter cup taste.
No doubt about
So
it.
sad.
Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. We're going to get healthy on the show. You
Yeah.
wait and see. Los is leading the brigade. No, I think we are. I think we're going to do it.
I think so.
It's small steps, incremental.
Listen, self-control, you start just a little bit,
I'm not
and then
great with
everything goes from there.
No, you're right.
I'm not
great
telling
with it.
you all to be like, hey, let's go get some tofu or whatever. But, if we start
No, I think it's great.
little stuff,
I do.
good.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to. We're gonna do better. We're gonna do good.
Except
I'm trying
Joe.
I've been talking to Marjorie.
Joe's leading.
I've been talking to Marjorie Taylor Greene for so long about doing a CrossFit video with her, and she's all open to it. But then she's like, "You got to get in better shape before you come out there." And I'm like, all right, because she doesn't want me like having a heart attack and passing out. Like, I think she does a lot of them in her garage and those kind of areas. But if we find a gym to do, she doesn't want me getting hurt in a gym. I don't think.
Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Let's knock out the headlines.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
All right, here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Tuesday, June 18th. Brian Steele, the attorney for rapper Young Thug, filed a motion to have Judge Ural Glanville recuse himself from the trial. Steele also filed a motion for a mistrial, citing improper conduct by the court and prosecution. The motion alleges that the court and prosecutors had unlawful, improper ex parte meeting with witness Keith Copeland and others. The killing of a food service worker by an inmate who then took his own life in a Georgia prison has led Governor Brian Kemp to hire consultants to conduct an in-depth assessment to identify ways to improve the prison system. The governor announced that the Georgia Department of Corrections will have visits from Guidehouse Inc., a consulting group, over the next 12 months to come up with recommendations on changes to the system that will improve public safety statewide. And the Braves have now won 4 of their last 5 games after a 2-1 win over the Detroit Tigers last night at Truist Park. Ozzie Albies hit a go-ahead homer in the 8th to secure the victory for the Braves. Up next, Braves rookie Spencer Schwellenbach will make his 4th start tonight against the Tigers. First pitch from Truist Park is scheduled for 7:20. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan.
When we come back on Extra 106.3, Tug, Rhino, and Los, do you know your company's woke capital score? You'd better find out, or you could be the next Bud Light. That will be the discussion on Extra 106.3.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Shoo, boy, I walked in today and it was 73 degrees outside. Yeah, heat is on its way. I love the Georgia heat. Most everybody else likes it a little more mild. I'm the anomaly, probably. I should have been born on the equator because I love heat and humidity. So if you're like most people would prefer it not be so hot, maybe making your home your sanctuary is the way to go. Save energy, save money. Christmas in July, do you know what that is? If your HVAC system is prepared for that summer heat, it's because you probably have maintained your system well. If you need a maintenance agreement, get one today with Central Heating and Air Conditioning. 770-GET-HEAT, and centralheat.com is their website. Because if you get a maintenance agreement today, $10 from every new agreement will go to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Just a jewel in the city of Atlanta. So many families have ended up there. Maybe it's a bike wreck. Maybe it's an injury on the ball field. Maybe it's something more serious. Having that place is something that will at least give you the comfort that your kid's getting the best care specialized for them. Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning know that, and they want to make sure that you are helping Central Heating and Air Conditioning helping Children's Healthcare of Atlanta while you're helping yourself and your home, making sure that it is perfectly comfortable. How do you do it? Like I said, pick up the phone, call them 770-GET-HEAT, or hit the website, centralheat.com.
The warm air, the beautiful weather, and the sounds of baseball. It's got you thinking about hitting the road. And no matter where your adventures take you, Subaru of Gwinnett has a vehicle to get you there safely and in style. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2024 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right size SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. No matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
Don't miss the Atlanta Mushroom Festival, Sunday, June 23rd at Park Tavern in Piedmont Park. Beginning at 12 p.m. and ending at 7 p.m., this dog and family-friendly event features live music, educational speakers from the CDC and Emory, and over 30 mushroom-themed vendors. Early bird tickets are only $10, which directly supports the nonprofit festival. For more information, visit AtlantaMushroomFestival.com or Atlanta Mushroom Festival on all social platforms.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed. Start your day with live and local conservative talk with Tug, Rhino, and Carlos Medina on the Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Appreciate you being here with the Morning Xtra. Tug, Rhino, and Los. The app is the most convenient way to listen, by the way. If you're thinking about listening to the show or listening to the shows, follow us throughout the day. You can listen live or on demand with the Xtra 106.3 app. Get that today by searching for XTR8 106.3 FM Atlanta and download the Xtra 106.3 app. It's available for Apple and Android. You can stream us at the Extra 106.3 YouTube channel, too. Everybody smile, wave. Everybody smile, wave. Look at there. Everybody's waving. Everybody's smiling. It's a good day. Los, you're late. It was a late reaction.
I'm sorry.
Smile, wave.
I was delayed.
Yeah,
I was looking at this picture of our friend Buck Ballou when he played at Georgia.
I saw this. And his
I
dad,
missed it yesterday, yeah.
He's got that cool throwback Georgia hat on.
And he's got that cool fro out the back.
Yes, sir.
That man's looking cool.
Yeah, and rocking 8 on the football field and on the baseball field. Wasn't that the reason Buck decided to go to Georgia? Because they said he could play both?
He could play both. At Florida State, at the time, they told him, well, you're going to have to pick one or the other. And for a kid from Valdosta, he was seriously considering those Florida schools.
Yeah, you're not that far from Florida.
They flat out told him, you can play both here. He's like, all right, let's do it.
Let's do it. And then he would go on and win a national championship in 1980. And
man was a second-round pick in Major League Baseball.
I know. That's the crazy part. Most people don't realize how good he was as a baseball player.
Very good ball player.
Man. Dude is just more talented.
He went in front of some Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny when you look at that draft and you're like, yeah, they had an investment.
Yeah, they did, man. And was with the Montreal Expos, which is now the Washington Nationals. Yeah, Buck, man, when you hear him talking about baseball, he knows what he's talking about. Just like with football, man. He is an athlete extraordinaire. Certainly fortunate to be able to work with him every day and learn from him and just spend time with him. He's one of the funniest people that you'll ever meet in your whole life. I never knew that about him. Y'all work with him much longer than I have.
He's very dry.
Oh, my God.
And the man, when he slides, he'll throw a joke at you and just kind of give you that smile as he kind of walks off. Oh, yeah. Pretty good, Buck. Pretty good.
He's so good at that, too.
Yeah.
Like, you don't expect it at all.
No, you're right.
You're like, hey, he's a Valdosta guy.
Did he just get me?
He's so smart. He gets you every single time.
That's the best.
It's that laugh, too, man.
For sure it is. Yeah. and then he makes his own sound effects every now and then, too, because I know y'all have cut those up a million times, but there's one that when he's talking about the Hawks, that they play that he used to do or has said before, and he's like, or whatever it is, dude. I nearly fall out every time.
That man's a national treasure as far as I'm concerned. I love Buck Ballou.
Me too, no question. I think he's so much fun to be around, and I'm glad that we get to see him. Atlanta's not one of the happiest cities in the country. All Men's Journal does not list Atlanta as one of the happiest cities.
We're doing
in the
our part.
I know. Outside of Atlanta, we are. But it's I guess the happiest cities. Get this, or you're not going to believe this. When I tell you number one,
I will.
You're going to laugh in my face at number one.
Yeah,
Minneapolis,
of course.
It's the happiest. It's burned to the ground.
Yeah,
it still shows remnants of a torched city, but it's happy.
I don't believe any of it.
Me either.
I don't believe any of these things anymore. I can't believe any of it. There's no way whatsoever. Look, Atlanta, of course it's not happy. Look what's going on here every single day. Look at the crime. It's run by Democrats. Of course it's unhappy. None of what they say is true. In Minneapolis, that place is a complete garbage dump compared to where it was 10 years ago. I can't believe the people are happy. Now, maybe outside in the suburbs where everybody's taking care of themselves instead of the government taking care of them. Maybe they're happy there.
They throw in there Boston, Baltimore, D.C., San Fran.
You're naming like one area of another where they're like, first off, like homelessness.
That's right.
In Baltimore. Why don't you name Oakland?
Yeah. Well,
why don't you name is that a wasteland too?
It didn't make the list. It didn't make the list.
Like Seattle is this great and wonderful port city.
Unbelievable.
But the amount of tent city that I saw, and it was just getting cranked up.
Unreal.
It's unreal.
I was there in 2019 for my bud's wedding, and it was crazy to see how many tent cities. And that was, what's that been, 5 years ago now almost?
Yeah.
And I went out there in the summer for a summer wedding. So, yeah, about 5 years ago. And he was already talking about how disastrous it was. And they love it there, but they would love to move. They just want to get away from all of that. And understandably. But they throw Salt Lake City, and look, I don't know much about Salt Lake City. It could be happy. Maybe the Mormon
Salt Lake City is a really nice, beautiful place, and it's very. My son went out there; he loved it. He said everybody's so nice, everybody's so happy. I could see that. It's a really happy city. There's a lot of good things going. I had some friends that went out there, and they're like, "Wow, I didn't expect it to be this nice, this fun, this exciting." So, yeah, I could believe that about Salt Lake City. Believe it or not.
Yeah, that I've not heard
beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Madison Wisconsin, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Rochester, New York, and Portland, Oregon are some of the happiest cities.
Yeah, Rochester, New York is not happy. Get out of here.
Men's Journal does
such
not
a
lie. Don't you say Men's Journal lies.
Men's Journal is full of it. Who's writing? Rachel Maddow?
Yeah, no kidding. No, it's just so dumb. They want you to believe all this crap. And I don't. I refuse to believe it. I will not believe it.
Highest taxed place in the world, Rochester.
Exactly.
Everybody's happy to give 10% of their money to a city that doesn't even fix the streets out there.
Maybe they're asking people as they leave if they're happy. And they're like, yes, I'm happy to get out.
Yeah, I'm happy to go to Georgia.
I'm happy to get out. Please don't come here. Please don't come here and bring your crazy leftist ideas and voting records. Mm-hmm. The Human Rights Campaign has a number for each business called the Corporate Equity Index. Oh my goodness. And this is something I think, Los, that your wife deals with, or at least sees in practice.
This was being discussed because, again, we share an office, and so everybody knows when she's working, I'm sitting there working, and I can hear the conversations that go on. And within that clientele, this is an important factor of these companies because they recognize that there is a woke culture that has emerged, and that if they want to stay off woke culture radar, which is a lot of what this is, they've got to play the game.
And it's funny you bring up staying off the radar because that is what James Lindsay said over the weekend at the Turning Point USA Action Committee. They did, a big event, and they were talking about Bud Light specifically, and I'll let you hear him himself. But he talks about how Bud Light didn't want to do what they did, but they felt pressured to.
I could talk to you guys for an hour about how ESG scores work, but let me just give you an example. Do you think Bud Light wanted to put Dylan Mulvaney's face on a beer can and lose, $30 billion or whatever it is? No, they did not. Maybe that one lady did that they let take the fall, or a handful of activists that are working in the company. But the fact of the matter is we saw immediately afterwards that the Human Rights Campaign publishes a number called the Corporate Equality Index that requires them to do visibility activism, that requires them to go testify or lobby for bills. It requires corporations to do activism on behalf of whatever its agendas are, and then that score is used as a proxy to their ESG scores, their environmental, social, and governance behavior scores, which are the most corrupt cartel system that the finance industry's ever come up with, and is being used to push the United Nations and CCP agenda to destroy America.
Buddy, that should scare the living hell out of everybody.
The game that is being played when it comes to these companies and they talk about their ESG scores. Now, the friendly thing, like people like my wife who really don't dig into this sort of stuff, it's not part of what she does. She thinks, well, their environmental score, what if they're doing a lot of environmental damage? Granted, if you want to talk about that with certain companies, okay, that's a discussion point. But what's happening is you have these outside organizations that are assigning scores, and then those scores then dictate how much capital these companies can get from financial institutions. They're the ones basically telling you what your policies are going to be moving forward.
Because if you need capital, which every business needs capital to run, you better play by the rules. And if you don't, Rhino, guess whose business is going to suffer? Guess who's going to lose their job because you ran that business into the ground or kept them from getting the loans and the capital that they need?
Yeah, this is going to come back and backfire on all of them as well. They want to continue down this path. This is what they've been doing with the central bank. The idea, there's the Great Reset. Whether you like Glenn Beck or not, it's a fantastic book with tons of research into what the WEF and everybody else is saying that they want to do when it comes to making sure that all these ESG companies stay compliant.
It's funny, the guy that delivered this, James Lindsay, if you go to his Twitter page, it's Conceptual James, at Conceptual James. James Lindsay, anti-communist. He is a new friend of mine. Hello, follow. But that's the thing. Pro-America, anti-communist dude's out of Knoxville, Tennessee, so I know he's a good man. He's up there with the volunteers.
It's interesting what happens on social media when I point out the communists, and you will then get this immediate backlash of, well, are you kidding? We're not communists.
No.
My wife has said the same thing. She says, I'm not a communist. You're blowing this out of proportion. And I say, if you're not a communist, understand that your vote is going to support communism. All right? Roundabout, you may not endorse, you may not look at yourself as a communist. Your vote is endorsing communism.
Sure is.
It's pretty straightforward. I want to have this discussion with my Aunt Peg, but I'm afraid she might burn down the house. Just out of reaction to what I'm telling
You mean like
her.
the left?
Yes,
When
very
they don't
much
like an answer, they burn
Minneapolis.
down the house.
Yes.
Well, as I told you, the joke would be that if you lived with a communist, all right? Like let's say you're in the Navy and it's you and you have one person else on the ship and they're a communist. Right now in America, that communist every morning when you get up on the ship is trying to figure out how to scuttle the ship. And you're trying to talk him out of it. You're like, hey, listen, things are okay. You don't need to scuttle the ship. And the communist tells you, you're right, comrade. That was a bad idea. As soon as you turn your back, they're going,
doing it again.
How do I scuttle the ship?
That's exactly right. And that's Aunt Peg. But she wouldn't. She would fight and cuss and kick and scream just like anytime we accidentally brush across topics like this. But it's to your point, though, like these Democrat voters don't realize that party is Marxist in everything it does now. It hasn't. That's changed. Since 1999?
Yeah.
How quickly they've moved from where they were to as hard left as they are now.
But that's the brilliance of them. That's the complete brilliance of them, is that they are so creepy that they will keep the sheep inside that fence, and the sheep will stay there because they will continue to promise thing after thing. That's why Kamala Harris is coming here to continue to promise things that are never going to deliver on. And how many people do you think will go and vote for them knowing? Because they'll go home and they'll complain, be like, hold on, look at these groceries. And then one of us will say, well, then why are you voting that way? Well, they told me that Donald Trump's going to, tear gas all black citizens in Atlanta. And they believe it. There's no way. They're brilliant about the way that they manipulate the mind of the weak and the tyrannical minorities.
So you're on the ship, and we'll call this person that you're on there Aunt Peg.
Okay.
I love this.
And Aunt Peg, because Aunt Peg keeps talking about scuttling the ship, and you're like, no, the ship is fine. We're at sea. The ship is worth fighting for. You know what Aunt Peg believes? Aunt Peg believes the ship and its creation was racist.
That's right.
And it's a racist ship. And it's unfair. And you know what? And these materials that you took for this ship, you took from Native Americans. Right. And this ship is a symbol of white supremacy and all the things wrong with your ship country.
And she's bought it.
And all you can do is recognize that you either defeat Aunt Peg at the ballot box, which doesn't really work on a ship, or you throw Aunt Peg overboard.
Yeah.
And throwing Aunt Peg overboard is not the worst idea in the world.
She's going overboard in this case.
Because if you want to hold on to this ship, Aunt Peg is going to scuttle it when you're not paying attention, and we have not been paying attention for the better part of 25 years.
Maybe even longer. I would contend even longer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is the creep that you described, Lowe's.
Slowly but surely.
Absolutely. But just continually taking and changing, and everything that you hold dear, when you see the stars and stripes, when you see the American flag, they despise and they want to destroy and are. That Gallup poll that I cited from last week or the week before that says 65% of the Democrat Party believe in Marxist ideas and values.
Yeah. How long ago was 1994?
We're talking 30 years ago.
That's 30 years ago, before they started putting in really laws that hurt the community that they're now telling you that laws are made to hurt you. Well, they were made by you. This is the communists. This is who they are. And they'll find another scapegoat. The scapegoat, in World War II were the Jews. That's who Adolf Hitler decided was going to be the scapegoat. And he had a lot of mental illness, so that's why that went. Now the scapegoat is the red hat, and anybody who says, make America great again. They don't want to make America great.
They said it never was great.
Well, yeah, that's why.
That's why it never was great. That's their point.
Yeah, that's why they use it. MAGA is a bad word. Making America great is a bad word to them. Why? Because it's built on capitalism. It's built on your ability to succeed and your ability as a person, instead of them being able to control your life.
So there you are on that ship. And you're just walking down, you're going through the galley, and you see Aunt Peg, and she's got this blowtorch, and you're like, why is she weakening the rivets? And you're like, Aunt Peg, like, what are you doing over there? She's like, she's like, nothing at all. I'm not doing anything. And she's sitting there, and she's like, yes, transgenderism. Mm-hmm. And then she goes over to the next rivet, and she's like, Social Security for everyone at an early age. And then she goes to the next rivet and she's like, open borders. And she's slowly but surely getting ready to make that ship bust open. And you have to pay attention to it because you told MPEG to ask, basically said, no, I'm doing this for the right of the country.
This is
doing this for the ship.
This is good for everybody.
No. She's going to sink that ship.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
She turns and goes, but you hate trans people, Tug. You hate black people, Tug. You hate,
why do you got that blowtorch, Aunt Peg?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to sink this ship.
No, Tug. You're the problem.
And they do it slowly but surely. And
one rivet at a time.
And you get so bored and you get so fat, you get so happy. And then it isn't until right now when the world seems to be falling apart that you go, oh my God, this is what they've been doing for the past 4 years.
Why did you disarm our weapon system when the Chinese are around?
That's right. It's fine.
They're fine. They're communists.
Yeah. Here's a raw hamburger with some cheese on it. Enjoy it. Stand in line.
As you're standing in the galley.
Food line.
Since Los recognized the galley. There's nothing better than getting a sandwich on the galley on a Navy ship. Actually, Navy food is not all that bad. Navy food, breakfast is always the best because it's fresh. Everything else, could go either way. But as long as Aunt Peg is not there, because she would be taking out those rivets. She would be trying to sink the ship, just like the communists. They're trying to sink America. And right now, do y'all feel like this too? Right now that they're winning. Do you feel like they're winning? Because I do.
Oh,
it feels
the Democrats?
Strongly like
Absolutely
they're winning. I just
winning.
mean just communist ideas, Marxist ideas.
I don't think they're winning per se. Because you have a large amount of people when you go poll by poll who don't agree with what they're doing. The truth is they don't care. And in that way, they're winning. They're flooding the country with illegals. They're ruining your institutions. And we know they're going to pay for it at the ballot box. But they know that too.
And don't care.
They'll just wait for the next time to do it again.
Oh, it drives us all crazy is what it does. Tug, Rhino, Los on the Morning Xtra. It's June of 2024, and the progressives, the quote-unquote progressives in New York are making a move about masks on subways. Get ready to chuckle, roll your eyes like you've hit 777s at Harris Cherokee's Casino, That's what's coming next your way. On Xtra 106.3. It's 404-741-1230 at Xtra 106.3 across the social media platforms.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Xtra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Really, what in the hell was I thinking? A couple of months ago, I was not sure I could vote for Donald Trump. But when you really look closely at Joe Biden and what he's done to our economy and what he's done to our country, if it has to be Trump, that's a better choice. Let's not make this mistake.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Xtra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Xtra 106.3 app.
Your Atlanta Braves are wanted in Texas this summer for the 2024 MLB All-Star Game. All fans who vote for the Atlanta Braves as their favorite club will receive an offer for 20% off 4 tickets to a game at Truist Park from June 14th through the 30th in select locations. Make sure the Braves take over Texas for the Midsummer Classic. Visit Braves.com/vote to cast your ballot for Marcell Ozuna, Matt Olson, and all your favorite Braves. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
Have you considered securing your family's future? Protecting your hard-earned assets? Navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademark Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you are absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
Well, Sally, thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
But why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and we saw some red flags.
Like what?
Apparently, you were accused of dog-napping a Chihuahua named Mr. Cha-Cha.
Mr. Cha-Cha was my soulmate.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
My name is Jamie High, and I have worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years. Why do I work for Bruce? Because he truly cares. He cares about me, he cares about my family, and he cares about each and every one of his clients. Family is important to him, and he never makes me choose between my family and work. He values me as an employee, but also as a person. At our firm, we are all family, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I am Jamie, and I've worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years because he's the best. Hagen-law.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Election coverage is more than polls and numbers. It's about what matters in your life and your community. And Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station cares about your community, your voice, and most importantly, your vote. So keep it all here for the latest and download the Extra 106.3 app and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Tug, Rhino, and Loso on the Morning Xtra on Extra 106.3. Thank you for being up early with us. 404-741-1230 is the number. Don't you go wearing a mask on the subway because they can't tell who you are when you're breaking the law.
I feel like finally, New York City, state of New York, they finally beat COVID. It's finally happened. Because masks, you're not allowed to wear them anymore. That's the movement that they're going for. Take a listen as we've had this rise in subway crime. It's been astronomical in the city of New York. And so you have not just Governor Kathy Hochul, but you're also going to hear the mayor of New York, because New York is a brand, right? Has a brand.
That's what they tell me.
That's what they have. Take a listen to this news report. and when they discuss how they're getting rid of masks on subways.
I see individuals on a subway being terrorized by individuals in masks. It's a cause for great concern. We have images of people with masks that almost cover up their entire face. It's impossible to find these perpetrators.
Mayor Adams is supporting the governor's possible ban, calling people who wear masks to harass subway riders and commit crimes cowards.
In our transit system, people have hid under the guise of wearing a mask for COVID to commit criminal acts and vile acts. And I think now is the time to go back to the way it was pre-COVID, where you should not be able to wear a mask at protests in our subway systems and other places.
Oh, no. It's finally happened.
It's so humorous, the progressives.
They beat COVID.
Yes, that's right.
Well, they finally gave up on the mask.
It's June of 2024, y'all.
Yeah, welcome.
And they're saying, okay, we're done with this mask and the subway.
People are acting criminal here. You can't see who they are.
But don't fight back, though, Rhino. That's the other thing. If you fight back, they're going to prosecute you.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
They did Daniel Penning.
Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. This is full control now. That's good for them. They realize the mistakes that they've continued to make by forcing us to wear a mask when we didn't really need to wear a mask. But yeah, you can't fight back. So if someone is wearing a mask and they are robbing you or pushing someone in front of a train, don't touch them. Leave them there, because God forbid you try to save someone else's life or 5 or 6 other people's life or your own, then you're going to jail. They are going to weaponize against you and put you away for as long, because they're going to call racism and everything else. This will also be this is a racist thing. Why is this racist? We're trying to stop crime. We're trying to stop people from using an excuse of, well, I have to wear a mask because I don't feel safe. No, you feel safe. You want to make sure that everybody else around you doesn't feel safe by robbing them, hurting them, or doing something else. I'm all for it, obviously. I think it was a big thing here when Governor Kemp said, listen, there are going to be certain places you can't wear a mask anymore. I think we need to go ahead and revisit this, because it has become an excuse. Mayor Adams is right that they're using these masks in order to hide their identity.
Well, if you're telling me that you're getting out in the public domain and you're wearing your mask, okay, you're a bit of a weirdo, but that's fine. I get that you're doing your, 2020, 2021 broke you, that's fine. But what we have is this epidemic of people that are causing issues because they're committing crime, and you can't see the bottom half of their face.
Maybe we need a Surgeon General warning or something. You know, like put a warning label on the subway. Like, be careful, don't ride the subway. You liable to get beat up or killed or something.
You could die.
You could die.
I mean, we walked into the building. When every single one of these companies had to put the signage up. It's the same thing in New York, but this time it's not, you could die from this disease. It's, we've got crazy people wearing masks.
Yeah. And they're going to commit crimes because of it. They're hiding behind it.
I thought it was interesting, too, that he brought up protests, because I think that's very important. We've talked about it so many times. Carlos brought up, they're not wearing the mask for safety. They're wearing the mask to hide their identity.
Right. When they're breaking the law.
Right. They don't want to be doxxed. They don't want people to know who they are. They want to save their reputation when they act like a fool in front of their school. They don't want it to be held against them. That's why the masks are there. And there are certain situations that people should not be able to wear a mask. Going into a bank, going into a store, going onto the subway, those kind of things where they're trying to hide their identity.
Kind of seems obvious, doesn't it?
It really does.
Hide your identity in places where we need to know who you are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on the bank, at our bank, it says you cannot wear any facial covering. I mean, it says on the door.
Yeah.
And I want to say it even says you're not supposed to wear a ball cap. They've not, because I always wear a ball cap. But I don't think they've stopped me, and I don't go in often, and then maybe that's why. But I feel like even on the front door it says no mask or maybe it's pulled down. Maybe it's hoodies. I bet that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Not hoodies. That's what it is.
I understand where some people are still going to be concerned, especially elderly people who want to ride the subway, those kind of items that will come up day after day. And of course, you're going to find a lot of the far left progressives saying, hold on 1 second. Again, they'll go to racism, then they'll go to, what about safety for COVID? What about people who want to be safe and who have bad immune systems? Blah, 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 blah. So I wonder how this will end up turning out in New York. I imagine that a lot of people will protest against that and want to wear masks again.
Yeah, it seems likely. But look, if you want to
have a doctor's note,
yeah, right, or something. But or
even on the subway.
Well, I mean,
why not?
It's like a surgeon general warning, on social media.
Sure. So why do surgeons do it? It's helpful.
I know, right? It's so funny. Morning Xtra at Extra 106.3. Do not believe your eyes and ears. Believe what KJP, Karine Jean-Pierre, tells you regarding Biden's mental health. Do not listen to your instincts. They're steering you wrong. KJP will tell you. Talk about that next after a Fox News update. On Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, where you get the Morning Extra till 10, Glenn Beck until noon to 3, Clay and Buck, and then the local afternoon show with the Kimmer, 3 to 6. The Kimmer Show is only on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
Okay, you don't want to pay attention to politics? Fine. You don't care about your kids. You don't care where they go to school. You don't care what kind of country they grow up in. So you know what? Put down the TV remote, put down the video player, put down the damn bong, and put down the damn parlay sheet and pay attention for just 5 months here.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Our country's at risk. The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
If you notice any cracks in your foundation, they're not going to go away. They need to be addressed as soon as possible to reduce additional costs that come with repair. Ramjack is the best company in the industry for repairing your foundation. We have the highest quality products in the nation. So, if you are experiencing foundation problems, please contact us at ramjack.com/Atlanta or call us at 770-502-8881. That's 770-502-8881.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
You have enough to deal with after an accident. You don't want to spend a lot of that time messing around with insurance companies. Besides, what are you going to say to them? You really know the ins and outs? David Van Sant at Van Sant Law does. He used to work for the insurance companies. Their worst nightmare. He knows who to call, what to say, how to listen to them, and he has your best interest at heart. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY. VanSantLaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Van Sant Law, VanSantLaw.com.
President Biden is taking action again on immigration. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. His last order will keep some migrants out. This one he'll issue today will keep more here. People who came to the U.S. illegally years ago, not in the recent border surge.
Undocumented immigrants will be able to apply for lawful permanent residence if they are legally married to an American citizen and have lived in the U.S. continuously for at least 10 years. As many as 500,000 spouses of American citizens and 50,000 non-citizen children whose parent is married to a U.S. citizen are expected to be protected.
Fox's Jared Halpern. The order comes the day after President Biden met with NATO's leader at the White House.
Together, we're deterred
further Russian aggression in Europe.
As more American allies spend more on their defense to meet NATO targets while also helping arm Ukraine to battle Russia. Now, its president, Vladimir Putin, goes to North Korea today, thanking leader Kim Jong-un for supporting Russia's invasion. The U.S. says North Korea has supplied weapons and ammo being used in Ukraine. Before that visit, shots were fired at the Korean border.
The South Korean military says 20 to 30 soldiers from the north temporarily crossed the land border while carrying out construction work. Warning shots were fired in response and messages broadcast over loudspeakers too. The North Koreans then retreated. There was a similar incident a week ago in a different part of the border zone.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. It keeps heating up outside. Advisories or warnings stretch Missouri to Maine down to Philadelphia, where the city opened swimming pools just in time.
I've been waiting for like a year actually since it closed for it to open back up, because it's been getting hot, really hot some days.
It'll be over 90 degrees in Philly for the next week, close to 100 in Boston Thursday. They're happy there. Celebrating the Celtics winning the NBA championship for a record 18th time after Boston beat Dallas in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance. So when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
Wake up with the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3 Atlanta.
What does front office Lowe's and Ariana Grande have in common? I will tell you in just a moment.
Oh, intriguing.
I know. I just figured it out. I just found out. I was like, wait.
I mean, there's the obvious. I was like, okay, they both have Hispanic last names.
We were both on Nickelodeon.
Devilishly good looks. Are you? You were on Nickelodeon?
No, I mean, I had Nickelodeon.
Oh, got it. Yeah, she was on Nickelodeon. You were on Nickelodeon.
They both have those beautiful voices.
Yes, absolutely.
When they sing.
Morning Extra at Extra 106.3.
Like Tug, that mix of Fergie and Jesus.
Yeah.
Whenever he sings, we're all like, oh.
Carlos is a better birthing parent and looks better in a miniskirt, though.
Did Ariana Grande?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wow,
There is something.
I mean, that's going out on a ledge right now. I like where you're
she's
going
not
with
very
it, but-
curvy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But still,
he's got those
pretty lady.
He's got those birthing hips that just like really just make you stare.
Exactly. Accentuates the fact that I'm ready to roll.
Yeah.
He shakes it like Shakira, too. Those hips don't lie.
Picture. That's exactly right. Get the app so you can listen live and on demand to the Morning Extra. Tug, Rhino, and Losen until 10, and then great conservative discussion throughout the day only on Extra 106.3. How do you get the app? Just wherever you go and download your apps on your phone or on your iPad or your tablet, your device, whatever it is. Just search for XTRA 106.3 FM Atlanta. It's that simple.
Or run into my girlfriend, Erin, who makes every single person download the app.
Exactly.
She sends every single person. Like, you got to listen to Tug.
God bless
her.
her.
She don't talk about me.
No,
she loves Tug.
She loves you too.
I'm like, stop texting Tug. Leave him alone.
No, she's always welcome. She is such a sweetheart, and it's funny. She'll reach out at the most random of times, like we're in the middle of a discussion. She's like, "You tell him" or something. You know what I mean?
She's like, "What are you wearing?"
No, she's never asked that. No,
that's mine. I send you guys this stuff.
Yes, that's right.
I find that it puts you guys on the defensive initially.
Immediately, it does. Yeah. So it's like, why are you asking that? What's the matter?
What actually do you plan on bringing up?
She asked for Los's number too because we were listening on Friday to Kimmer. And at about 4:20 to 4:22, she's like, "That's a drunk Kimmer right there."
Oh, did he go on like one of those long diatribe stories?
She's picking up. He went on. Apparently some girls were walking through to go to the Braves game again, and he started talking about all the girls and, "Well, don't give me a hard. I mean, she's going. They work at kind of stumbling through it because Pete was like, "Stop."
Yeah.
Just stop.
God, you sound like a dirty old man. Come on now.
He's so horny. That's all it comes
We
down
love
to.
you a long time.
And I can appreciate that. I'm right there with you. I'm just saying, let's not bring it to the air on a regular basis.
Yeah. That's such a filthy sounding word to me. It's so filthy.
Well, it's weird because, he's trying to like be the nice old man, but every once in a while those hormones just kick in and it's like, whoa.
The curtain falls.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like he's a gentleman, he's a Marine, he's a badass, and he's really horny.
Yeah.
And
Why
so,
are you saying that word again?
So if I can hit 2 out of 3,
I hate
3
that.
out of 4, aren't you kind of allowed to be horny at that point if you're the other 3?
Stop.
Why does horny make you so
I don't know. It's such an awful word. It's like periwinkle. I hate that word too.
Periwinkle?
Yes, I hate both those words.
Do you like my periwinkle shirt? Like that kind of?
You're going to react to moist the same way.
Moist doesn't bother me. That's the one that is so
It's
weird.
like a
That
nice,
one doesn't
good
bother me.
moist cake.
Periwinkle. Oh, I hate that word. And
periwinkle. I've never heard anybody who's upset with periwinkle.
And then
I don't get
the
that.
other
Well,
one
let's
that
try
loves-
it in a sentence.
Yeah.
Right now, Kimmer is driving around all horny and moist.
In a periwinkle shirt.
Oh. Gives me heebie-jeebies. I don't know why. Are there words? Do y'all run into that? Are there words that weird you out?
No.
Is it just me?
I don't have any kind of words that,
Is this an ism? Is there some sort of like
you have something.
disease?
You probably
I
got
have?
Pyongyang.
I got Pyongyang. If you're listening,
Yeah.
and if you're a
he's
part of the
got
Early
it.
Risers
Got
Club, you learned what Pyongyang is. It's very itchy, so avoid it.
Words that make you go,
Words that make. I don't even know how you would look it up. Words that give you the EBGs. I don't even
uncomfortable.
know.
Words that make you uncomfortable.
Because they're
Moist is the big one, which I don't
That doesn't bother me.
understand.
Always
That one
is
doesn't
at the
bother
top
me.
of the list.
I know it is, but that one doesn't bother me for some reason. I don't know why.
Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, we talk about this all the time. Like, nobody complains, like, hey, I'm going to hoist this up, or hey, I got to fix the deck joist, or those kind of words. And then you say, oh, man, this cake is really moist. And people are like,
don't
why would you say that? That's disgusting. And I'm like, no, the cake's supposed to be moist.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Neil Bortz when he calls in.
I found some words.
Okay.
For a bunch of people don't like. What about squirt?
Oh, that one doesn't bother me, but I can see why.
Viscous.
What's viscous? I don't even know what viscous
That's
is.
like that, the viscous.
Viscosity?
Yeah, it's like that slimy.
Maggots.
Maggots.
Orifice.
Yeah.
Panties.
Panties. Okay. Now
when you pronounce the T, when you enunciate the T like you did.
No, seriously,
Sounds
I
creepy,
love
Joe.
using that because men, in my opinion, aren't supposed to wear panties. So when I bring it up and flat out tell somebody like, well, like my wife will be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just over here in my panties.
Sitting here in my panties.
Kind of makes it a little awkward, but you know.
if you
it is very
enunciate
awkward.
the T, though, if you
you have to
if
drive it home.
If you punch the T, I'm telling you, it
Can you come
sounds-
help out? No, I'm in my panties.
Yeah. Panties.
My
If you do that,
panties.
that's when it just sounds
Yeah, it's 2 words.
freaking filthy.
Pan and tease.
That's right. Be like, I'm in my panties.
I'm in my
That
panties.
sounds disgustingly disturbing, especially coming from a male. Good Lord. What a mess.
Or really hot.
Yeah, it depends on who says it. If it's
Come
me
on,
saying
Tug, check me out my panties.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Los.
Look at my new American flag panties.
Yeah, that's right. You got to say, you got to stretch it out, you got to punch that T, and then it sounds filthy.
I'm going to step out of the studio and I'm going to yell over in the direction of your wife and be like, Tug's telling me about his panties. Let's just see how it plays.
Can we record that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I have a feeling it's going to be like.
He doesn't wear any, sir. What?
Whoa, Commando Tug.
That's right. That's exactly right. No, I'm a boxer brief kind of guy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of the panties.
The boxer brief, like you got to have the tight boxers.
Yeah, I like the cotton ones though. I don't like the dry
Yeah,
fit
no.
jobs though. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I like the ones with the little holes that breathes. I have like a 32-degree cool, I think they're called. They're like,
wow.
Yeah, and they're real nice because they have like
32-degree
little,
cool.
yeah, they have like little air holes in them, so they breathe nice when I run around outside in them.
Okay,
in my
30
panties.
In his panties. There's somebody. Yeah, I'm so glad they're right now. They're driving around. They're like, I'm so glad that we don't have to deal with car line right now.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah. Yeah. You know, Mama, why do they keep talking about panties? You know, I can hear it now.
Yeah.
You know, and then I look up 32 Cool and all I see is a bunch of junk everywhere. Good Lord. You know,
yeah.
that's another thing you don't want to do. So, anyway,
You got a bunch of.
I'll have to tell you, we've gotten past the expiration point, so I'll tell you later why Front Office Lowe's has so much in common with Ariana Grande. Maybe like the final segment of the show.
Okay.
Or even the after Borch is done. But because we got to get to KJP and the fact that you must know that your eyes are lying to you. The things you are seeing are deep fakes. It's so fake. It's not real. Listen to this.
Ironically, several recent cheap fakes actually attack the president for thanking troops. For thanking troops. That is what they're attacking the president for. Both in Normandy, this happened, and again in Italy. And I think that it tells you everything that we need to know about how desperate Republicans are here. And instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country, we're seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos. And it is, again, done in bad faith.
Don't believe your eyes and ears, y'all.
Do you want us to talk about his accomplishments? Because I don't think you want us to talk about Bidenomics. I don't think you want us to talk about eggs 57% up or gas at the price it is or any of those. You want to talk about desperation. Desperation is telling the American people that no matter what you're seeing, it's fake. Everybody knows those videos weren't fake. They're not deep fakes. They're not AI fakes. They're not anything except for the truth. Normandy, the man people were confused. Is he actually pooping himself? He was grabbed by his wife and removed from the stage while every other leader was there. In the other video she's talking about, he wasn't saluting anyone. He turned around, didn't know where he was. And another person who is also in a powerful position had to walk across everybody else and tell him to turn around and listen to what that paratrooper was saying. No, nobody is taking advantage of these situations. Nothing is fake. Everything you saw was true.
Well, we've officially hit, according to KJP, 1984.
Right.
Do not believe your eyes and ears. All right. What we tell you is the finality of the truth, and that is all that is going to exist. When you see these things, and we'll get into it later in the show, but the reason why you don't see these videos is because this administration and these organizations that he's appeared in front of have made it virtually impossible for you to see these videos. You have to see them on the internet in order to be able to watch them. And so they're trying to hide the fact that this man is clearly in decline, and it's accelerating.
And will continue to, because my man is 81 years old. And even if he were the best president in the history of the United States of America, which he is not, even if he were, you decline at 81, and his decline is precipitous, man. I've never seen anything like it. It comes down like a waterfall, like Niagara Falls. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's unbelievable. And when you see him, you are automatically drawn into. You can't help. You're looking for the next gaffe. Yeah. That's the thing. It's happened so much that you're looking for the next time that he screws up.
Yeah, these aren't little accidents where if Joe Biden were to go up there and say, hey, there's Debbie Dingle and her name was Dangle, I'd be like, okay, but the fact that Debbie died yesterday and you're looking for her,
hard to look over that.
A little bit harder to look over. It's harder to look over the fact that President Obama had to grab that man. Oh, but he was just waving. Okay, well, if that was the case, he wasn't supposed to be waving, obviously. If Barack Obama had to walk over and grab his hand and pull him off stage. He can't follow directions. He has no idea where he is. Nobody's deep faking this. They set this up when they asked to get her audio tapes. Oh, we can't release them because there'll be deep fakes. This is going to be their new way out of seeing what you really see, which is a diminished man, Carlos.
But how strange is it that the response from the administration, from KJP on down, is that whatever you see that concerns you, it's not real. I mean, that's what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you anything you see that concerns you, anything you hear that concerns you is not real.
Prices concern me, and I see them.
That's not real.
That's right. But they would tell you that.
It's not real.
She just talked about the accomplishments of Joe
Janet
Biden.
Yellen told you for the better part of 3 years when you were sitting back saying, hey, this inflation's a pain. She's like, it's not there.
There's nothing to see here.
Nothing to see. No, yeah, exactly. Don't look at the gas pump. That's not right. Carlos, and he's going to get credit for this next week, by the way. I don't even know if Carlos knows this, but Buddy Carter used Carlos's analogy of weight on Fox News.
Finally.
And that is an exact example of what they're trying to tell people. Don't believe the gas prices are high. They're actually lower. Yes, they start, they're $4.60 instead of $4.90 last week. They're continuing down that path of don't believe what you're seeing, don't believe what you're reading, don't believe what you're feeling in your pocketbook. Believe us. We're here to help you, and we're going to take care
honest
of you.
ones.
I did enjoy when Buddy Carter, last time when he visited, when he was in studio, and I made the point about inflation that if you put on 20 pounds in a year and you put on 10 pounds the next year and say, look how much less weight we put on this year, you're like, but you're still 30 pounds overweight from 2 years before. That's the idea of inflation, is that it's compounding on itself.
Yep.
Just because you say, hey, listen, I was able to cut what I was able to cut by 50%. Sorry, it doesn't work that way.
But you're seeing it wrong, okay? The economy is fine. Everybody's happy. They're doing more for the economy. Everything that he's done is great. That's why they passed the Inflation Reduction Act, to take care of you. You're seeing it wrong. That's what they want to keep telling you. I'm not seeing it wrong. I see my bank account.
Yeah. It's hard to argue with that one.
Yeah.
It's unreal, man. And if this were a deep fake, don't you think they would have come out immediately?
They put up the video.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Don't you think?
MSNBC, everybody else had the same video.
Don't you think somebody would have said, hey, this looks doctored? I've not heard any agency, any outlet say that.
No, not at all.
Just KJP. That's it.
But at this point now, if you want to see this, especially from the weekend over in California, seeing the Hollywood fundraiser, you can only basically do it online. They have restricted from an organizational standpoint. Whenever you watch and see these broadcast rights are held by the NFL and may not be rebroadcast, well, they've exercised the same rights to make sure that no news organizations can show you just how bad a shape that you have President Joe Biden in.
Yeah. I mean, this is the same group that's sitting here saying, hey, don't believe he's fine, he's great. By the way, for the hour and a half debate, we need a chair because he can't stand.
Right.
I'm sorry, which is it? Because you keep playing these games. Sorry, we can't have an audience because he can't hear well and he can't do all that. Right. Sorry, we can't have another microphone on because it's going to disrupt him and he won't be able to keep up with it. So which is it, KJP? I can't believe Democrats sit here and follow all of this and then respout all this out. They really are brain dead sheep sometimes.
I really need one moment because we're now going to be basically 9 days away from having the first debate.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the first moment when Joe Biden, depending on what he's hopped up on, just goes, huh?
That's what my grandpa used to do.
Exactly. What?
What do you say, boy?
Well, you know what the whole debate's going to be. You're a convicted felon 34 times. Just keep saying that, Joe. He's been convicted. You're going to let this guy? He's a convicted felon. He's That's all they're going to do the entire debate anyway.
Are you not going to pardon your son?
No. No, they will not pardon.
No. He loves crack and buying guns illegally.
No, don't worry. They will not pardon. They are playing games with words. They will commute the sentence, but they will not pardon him.
Right. It'll be a play on words again.
Absolutely.
Boy, they love to play on words at this White House. KJP will be the leader of the pack. Morning Xtra and Xtra 106.3 this hour, 7 o'clock hour, is brought to you by Van Sant Law. If you're in an accident, make the right call, vansantlaw.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
All right, here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Tuesday, June 18th. Brian Steele, the attorney for rapper Young Thug, filed a motion to have Judge Ural Glanville recuse himself from the trial. Steele also filed a motion for a mistrial, citing improper conduct by the court and prosecution. The motion alleges that the court and prosecutors had an unlawful, improper ex parte meeting with witness Kenneth Copeland and others. The killing of a food service worker by an inmate who then took his own life in a Georgia prison has led Governor Brian Kemp to hire consultants to conduct an in-depth assessment to identify ways to improve the prison system. The governor announced that the Georgia Department of Corrections will have visits from Guidehouse Inc., a consulting group, over the next 12 months to come up with recommendations on changes to the system that will improve public safety statewide. And in sports, the Braves have now won 4 of their last 5 games after a 2-1 win over the Detroit Tigers last night at Truist Park. Ozzie Albies hit a go-ahead homer in the 8th inning to secure the victory for the Braves. Up next, Braves rookie Spencer Schwellenbach will make his 4th start tonight against the Tigers. First pitch from Truist Park is scheduled for 7:20. After you listen to the Kimmer Show right here on Extra 106.3 from 3 to 6, turn over to our sister station to catch all the Braves action at 7:20.
When you're looking for excellence and you're looking for legendary voice, a legendary voice to deliver it to you, you get Neil Bortz, the Talkmaster. And he joins us next on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
Electrify your senses with user-friendly technology and earth-friendlier power. Meet the all-electric 2024 Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 sedan. Satisfying for both drivers and passengers with innovations that only Mercedes-Benz can deliver. Experience the all-electric 2024 Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 sedan today. Lease one for just $669 per month for 36 months with $68.13 due at signing exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models. And visit today to see how to qualify. We'd love to welcome you to the RBM of Atlanta family. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta Sandy Springs through July 1st, 2024. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
The news and talk I can trust. Extra 106.3.
There are people that are often imitated, but never duplicated. I think of the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. I think of Marilyn Monroe. I think of all kinds of people that are amazing and everybody wants to be like them. And then another man that is...
What an ass kisser.
Wow. So, Tug, just because you put a blonde wig on... I said just because you put a blonde wig and a little dot on your face, not everybody wants to be Marilyn Monroe.
Here, why don't you just make it very easy? Neil, good morning. You're awesome.
Yeah. Neil, what's up, buddy? You're awesome.
You're the greatest, Neil.
Yeah, how the hell are you?
I'm just always accused of saying people don't like Neil or that somebody's mad at Neil. So I make sure I do this grand.
I completely love the fact that there are people out there that they can't stand Neil or they're mean.
No, but Neil comes at me thinking that I'm saying it, and so I always make sure that I set him up nicely. That way he can't say that.
You know, for the last week, I was in Atlanta. Well, I wasn't in Atlanta. I don't think I've ventured into the city limits yet. Well, maybe I did. What the hell happened to Houston's on Peachtree?
I've not been in 10 years, so I don't know.
Standards?
Well, how about that skillet of beans? Oh, we don't have that anymore. Why the hell not?
Because you're the last person that ate it 12 years ago, probably, Neil.
No, I don't.
Who eats a skillet of beans?
I actually saw. I guess they were migrants. I don't know. But somebody lost a mattress off the top of their car on the expressway. And it was leaning up against the median. And they actually blocked all lanes of the expressway to remove that mattress.
Wow.
Now, I think that the DOT gives out bonuses to officials, law enforcement, whoever, if they manage to block all lanes.
You get a bonus.
These people will block all lanes on an expressway if somebody loses a hubcap.
I disagree with that because I see so many hubcaps scattered along the side of the interstate.
They just haven't found them yet. When they do, in come the trucks with the blinky lights, out go the orange cones, and everything is blocked until they remove the hubcap. It's incredible. But I'm of the and also I drive through Atlanta several times a year. I love Tennessee, going places. Is anybody doing anything to remove graffiti in Atlanta?
No, they're adding to it, I think.
Maybe they think that that's a cultural insult to remove graffiti. Yeah. But when you don't live here, you're driving through Atlanta, you see that graffiti, they say, oh, yeah.
That's Atlanta on the skids. Look at the graffiti everywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't. They consider it art.
Yeah, it's not art. I think it's true. Like, I don't know why they're allowing the city to diminish in that way. I moved here in 1993, 94, and there was no graffiti like this back then. The city was beautiful, and I remember coming from New York thinking, oh my gosh, how do they keep this city so clean? How do they keep the graffiti off of MARTA, off of the buildings, off of the overpasses? They do such a good job, and it feels so welcoming and loving. And now I won't go through it. And you know what? Part of that is because I do see the graffiti, because I know where those come from. They're gang tags. That's what they are. And if gangs are tagging, if I was a police officer, I'd say, hey, you want to stop the shootings? You want to stop the violence against these communities? Let's start patrolling and seeing when we see these people tagging up their gang names on the side of the highway and arrest them right then and there.
Oh, well, don't arrest them. Give them paintball guns. Give the police paintball guns. You want to put graffiti on our bridges? We're going to put some splashes on you with these wonderful paintball guns. I don't know. It just brings the image of the city of Atlanta down. I know, wine. But I live in Naples. You don't see graffiti in Naples.
No, it's the truth.
I mean, us old people, we don't do stuff like.
You guys can't climb bridges anymore.
Yeah, it seems problematic.
I can't. I'm not allowed on a ladder.
There you go.
Oh no.
That's diminished.
I've told you this before. No, I'm not. If Lord forbid one of the awnings fails to retract on the Bortz bus, you can fix that by just getting up on the roof with a drill and a bit in there, and then it pulls the awning right in. Mm-hmm. And that happened one time in Colorado, and I had to hire a guy to climb my ladder. Well, it happened another time. It happened in the Keys about a month ago when they pulled the iguana out of the awning. Remember that?
Yes.
But I had to hire a guy to climb the ladder. Donna will stand out there and pull me off the ladder. I'm not allowed to have a chainsaw either. But you were mentioning words.
Yeah, words that gross you out or weird you out. Like, there's a few that I just don't like.
Like what?
I despise the word periwinkle. It just gives me. And then Lo said one earlier that I can't even.
Horny.
Horny.
God,
that was
horny.
So bad.
Horny bothers
that
him.
one. That was such a weird, awkward, odd word.
And I was referring to Kimmer, who's constantly horny.
Well, use the word Randy then.
Yeah, that's fine. It didn't bother me at all.
Randy. There you go.
In fact, back in my disc jockey days, I was Randy Neal.
So could you have otherwise been known as, let's say it, I can't even say it.
Horny. It remained true for decades.
Okay. Well.
Yes. Yes. Thank God for the Queen.
But, the number one word that upsets people, especially women, is moist.
I know.
Moist is the word.
That one doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, it doesn't bother anyone. That I know.
It doesn't bother me at all. Hey, honey, could you moisten this stamp for me?
Yeah. This pound cake is wonderfully moist.
I used to work to come up with words on the air that would upset. Preface was always one of my favorites.
Yes.
Yeah. And for some reason, people objected to me calling lesbians vegetarians. I don't understand why.
See, it's when you give them nicknames is when they get very upset.
That's when they get mad.
Oh, yeah. And, way back when this was in the GST days, way back when.
Okay.
There was a radio bowling league in Atlanta, and we played at that bowling alley that is near the intersection of Piedmont and Interstate 85.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of. I did something there that would probably just HR would go nuts over right now. As the ladies would roll the ball down the alley, I'd take a picture of them from behind, and I put all I put all the pictures up on a bulletin board and said, who can identify these WGST bowling bottoms?
Yeah.
Randy Neal strikes again.
It's a different era.
But the wonderful thing about that was the gay and lesbian bowling league that followed us on these nights at the bowling alley. And one of the lesbian teams had the greatest name ever.
Oh no!
In the history.
Oh no!
Who said oh no?
Me,
Oh, no?
because I know like bowling terms and splits, so I'm just.
You can only imagine.
I can only imagine.
This bowling team was the Lickety Splits.
I knew it.
Rhino nailed it. I love it.
Oh, we have the same mind, sir.
So, and also last week I heard an anchor, and I don't want to cause trouble for anybody, so I'll just say an anchor, and I won't identify the TV station.
Okay.
But she was addressing the fact that Kamala Mattress-Back Harris was going to be visiting Atlanta twice this week, and she actually said, wow, Kamala Harris is going to make 2 visits to Atlanta next week. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been reduced to that, and you are so right. You guys always are. You're so right about these videos of Joe Biden freezing and wandering with this blank look on his face. And the worst one, hello, dog. The dog just came up and said, I need to go outside. The worst one was at the Juneteenth celebration.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yep.
Where you had Kamala Harris on one side, the brother of George Floyd on the other side. I wonder how many lives have been saved by the fact that his was taken.
Seems like.
Can I say that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
0.
Did, yeah.
0. The guy was a thug. I mean, he
was a drug
probably
dealer.
Killed a couple of. Yeah.
Oh, you mean lives saved from him?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
absolutely. Probably tons.
Yeah. I mean, he was not murdered. He died of a fentanyl overdose.
Yep.
And Derek Chauvin needs to be out of prison. But there's Joe Biden standing between that vicious thug's brother, who may be a nice guy, and Kamala Harris, and everybody's dancing and everything to some Juneteenth song. And don't you dare, dog, not in here.
It's about to wet the floor. You're going to need some Clorox
he's
wipes.
Absolutely frozen in place. And then the little insurmountable odd that serves as his press secretary. That's a deep fake video and all that. No, it was absolutely real, and it's just scary as all hell. It really is.
That's the crazy thing about it is everybody knows that. The fact that they're trying to cover it up makes it even more apparent that it's real.
And the media, the mainstream, if I may use that word, the networks and what have you, they're absolutely in support of this effort to cover up these Biden moments where he walks around like a zombie or like an extra in a movie who doesn't have any idea what he's doing. It's depressing. I mean, this guy could well end up now. Foreign leaders are talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Foreign leaders are talking about the obvious, visible decline of Joe Biden. And there are a lot of people in this country that say, well, yeah, that may be so, but we still may need to make him president. So, it's sad. It really is.
Well, there's still the idea, and we've all been around people that say, I'm just resting my eyes when you know they're asleep. And the fact that you have word getting out of the White House that this man is resting his eyes during cabinet meetings, he's asleep. Like, what else do you need to know about the accelerated decline of this man?
People don't rest their eyes.
Never.
They nap.
Yes.
Yeah, so one of the other.
But I'm not even concerned about the closing of the eyes. What I am concerned about, not remembering foreign leaders' names, not remembering where he is.
I'm concerned about him being asleep during meetings.
At the wheel.
I mean, I get that point, but I mean, we know he's asleep while walking. I mean, I'm more concerned about his overall health and mental ability. I mean, you fall asleep, okay, fine. It happens every once in a while. The fact that you don't know where you are, what you're doing, or that you might even be the president of the United States, that's a huge problem.
Well, I mean, he may have the title of president of the United States, but we saw a hint last week of who is really, or one of the people really calling the shots, and that's when Obama pretty much took over at that meeting he was attending with Joe Biden.
But that's not a secret that Barack Obama is trying to take control of this at this point. I mean, he's been out front lately over the past few days, really trying to push Joe.
Of all the presidents in this century, and the last, okay, how many of them got out of the White House and said, well, you know, I'm just going to buy a house here in Washington. I'm not going to go home.
None of them that I recall.
Right here.
Outside of Barack Obama.
Yep.
Obama.
That's it. Yep.
Because, you know, he knew that he was going to wield a lot of power. He didn't realize that Joe Biden was going to come along. That must have been a great night for Obama when Hillary Clinton was put, behind the curtain and Biden took over. Obama must have said, boy, this is a great chance for me to further my goal of radically transforming the United States of America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he definitely has.
Okay. Leah Thomas got handed his jock strap.
Yeah, she was not allowed to swim the Olympics.
Yeah, I love that. You know, I tried for the Olympics as a swimmer.
Did you really?
I did. I came close, but I wasn't quite good enough because I didn't learn how to swim till I was in the 6th or 7th grade.
Seems important.
Yeah, it is. But I was on a high school swim team in California, and I never lost a race.
Really?
Well, look at there, Neil Bortz. Who knew
pretty
that
impressive.
about you?
You should have went to the women's division. You would have won.
That's right. You could have
been a world champion.
No, I was scared of women. God knows.
Well, let's ask Neil this one question. Neil, when it comes to applying cheese to your burger when it's on the grill, how long does it take before you put it on?
Just before you take the burger off the grill. You're talking about Schumer.
Thank you. See, everyday Americans know this, okay? Everyday Americans know
That's why, Neil, they took the picture down because everybody's like, what the hell are they doing?
Well, it's also not kosher, so stop pretending you're like this really high and mighty Jew, because you're not.
It was so phony.
Yeah.
And there he is with a frozen hamburger patty with a slice of cheese on it.
The patty was so cold it wouldn't melt.
I can't wait till he flips it over, the dummy.
These people are unconscious. They absolutely don't know how stupid they look in front of the American people. But cheese on a... I would love to go to a Schumer barbecue.
I wouldn't. You'd leave with E. coli.
Yeah, he's going to get you sick.
E. coli, yeah. Botulism. Something.
Neil Bortz.
And one more. What is going on with Caitlin Clark? I mean, when is the media going to start being honest about Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, that she is being harassed and targeted by black lesbian NBA or women basketball players who are jealous as all hell of her fame? What is this straight white girl doing in our game, messing things up for us?
And how weird is it that she can be the conduit to making them a ton of money, yet they want to make sure that it stays the way it is?
I know. Somebody needs to do some honest reporting on Caitlin Clark, how she is being targeted, especially by this Angel Reese hag, and do something. Not that I'm ever going to watch a WNBA game, but I do read the newspapers.
There you go, man. No, I think everybody's talking about it. It's definitely put a lot of attention on the league that it has never gotten before. Neil Bortz,
it is.
Talk Master. Neil, we love you, man. Thank you so much for checking in.
When are we going to get some moisture around here?
It's very humid. I think the moisture is lingering.
And then we'll get horny from there.
Oh, that was the worst. That's the worst.
Randy.
Word. Yeah, we'll go with Randy.
Randy.
Can we go with Randy? That was better. Like Austin Powers would say. Neil Borst, Talkmaster. If you ever miss him, you can get him on the Extra 106.3 app, available for Apple and Android. When we come back, if you're pregnant, make sure you stay away from pro-life centers because they're dangerous to your health. Seems odd, but that's what they say. Next on Extra 106.3.
Well, I'm not interested in politics. I've heard that phrase so many times. I understand. I completely understand. Look at the cretins we have in politics right now. But that's a dangerous attitude. Not interested in politics?
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
The warm air, the beautiful weather, and the sounds of baseball. It's got you thinking about hitting the road. And no matter where your adventures take you, Subaru of Gwinnett has a vehicle to get you there safely and in style. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2024 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right size SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. No matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
It's the unsung hero of your home, your garage door. You never think about it. You just hit the button and it opens until it doesn't. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. So you're ready for a new garage door. At All Four Seasons, we offer fast service, affordable prices, and a huge selection of styles, colors, and custom features. Improve your curb appeal, lower your energy bill, secure your home, and increase your property value. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
Don't miss the Atlanta Mushroom Festival, Sunday, June 23rd at Park Tavern in Piedmont Park. Beginning at 12 p.m. and ending at 7 p.m., this dog and family-friendly event features live music, educational speakers from the CDC and Emory, and over 30 mushroom-themed vendors. Early bird tickets are only $10, which directly supports the nonprofit festival. For more information, visit AtlantaMushroomFestival.com or Atlanta Mushroom Festival on all social platforms.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. We handle bonds throughout Metro Atlanta, including from our newest offices in Cherokee County and Clayton County. In most cases, we can have you or your loved one out of jail in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Donald Trump convicted.
Stuffing a misdemeanor into a felony charge. Tell me what the second crime was.
Extra 1063 is bringing you the conservative voices you need during this unprecedented time in America.
This must be the most divisive nation in the world.
Extra 1063 and the Extra app.
And the dumbest and most misleading thing that you'll hear today, the Massachusetts Department of Health is telling pregnant women, do not go to pro-life pregnancy centers because they don't offer abortions. And that can put your life at risk.
Whether you need pregnancy care or abortion care, avoid anti-abortion centers. They may look like medical clinics, but can put your health at risk. They mislead you about your options if you're pregnant. And they don't offer abortion care.
Learn more and find care you can trust.
Learn more at mass.gov/gettrustedcare.
That was paid for with taxpayer dollars. They put that ad together. Here's the thing that I find the most interesting about that. Your baby, if you go to a pro-abortion health, you go to like a Planned Parenthood, has a 100% chance of being killed if you go there.
Yeah, at least being told this is what has to happen.
No question about it, dude. So don't go to a pro-life center. Your health care is at risk.
They don't rip your baby apart the way we do here at Planned Parenthood.
That's right.
Well, one of the big ones that we have across the radio station, whether you listen to Glenn Beck, whether you listen to Jesse Kelly, is preborn. And preborn basically is asking for, let's just fund the idea of giving women ultrasounds. Because when they get ultrasounds, they recognize they have a human life inside of them.
Yeah.
That is what these abortion clinics are trying to avoid.
Yeah.
How disgusting is that that a woman might recognize she has a human life inside her?
We want this to be a clump of cells, Rhino. It cannot be a human because you'll likely not kill it if it's a human.
Well, the truth of the matter is, yes, that is true, and they don't want to give you the choice. You don't have a choice in your health care at Planned Parenthood. They're going to push you down one way or another. I understand that a lot of the pro-life ones also will not give you that choice, and that's fine.
Right.
But you do have the opportunity
to
go in
someone.
there. Right, and that's the difference. They're not going in there, and if you don't want to participate, then you can walk out of a pro-life, and they're going to be like, hey, it's really upsetting that you're going to do this, but you can go to Planned Parenthood and kill your kid. They are offering you the opportunity to see, hey, this isn't the end of the world, that you can raise a beautiful, wonderful child that can make differences throughout this entire world for everyone. So enjoy it and see it and look at it before, because you've made this mistake. Maybe it is something that is rape and incest, but that's such a low. People are going to Planned Parenthood because they don't have personal responsibility when it came to having sex.
Well, go with the simple numbers, and preborn is very out front about it. 80% of the women that show up there when they get the free ultrasound end up deciding to go through with the birth, which means 20% decides that they're not going to. Okay. When you go to Planned Parenthood, the goal within that building is 100% abortion.
We can do it today.
Yeah.
Don't leave. We'll do it right now.
It's like a car sale.
Yeah.
Come in here today.
What is it going to take to keep you in this studio? And again, if you want to tell me about, and please take a look at them, you will find, just as when you look it up on the map, you can Google it, where are the Planned Parenthood centers?
I was actually just doing that.
They're in low-income areas where they're trying to thin out the herd. Just as Ruth Bader Ginsburg told you, they were trying to keep undesirables to a lower number.
But not only that, Rhino had the cut of Janet Yellen doing this exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's been 6 months ago now, but Los, you've always said
all minority
these guys are
communities,
death cults. They are. They are a death cult, man. The liberalism is a death cult.
Look, this is a huge problem, and there are good opportunities for us to say, hey, let's practice abstinence. Let's practice safe sex.
How could you tell people that?
Let's practice personal responsibility. Instead, we go right down the path of how can we destroy these babies and these fetuses in these low-income communities, in black communities. And like you said, Janet Yellen said it. Black people will never be able to get out of poverty. That's why abortion is so important in those areas. Think about what they say.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg, in an interview with the New York Magazine, said, frankly, and this is my quoting her, frankly, I had thought that at the time Roe was decided, there was concern about population growth, and particularly growth in populations that we don't want to have too many of, so that Roe was going to be set up for Medicaid funding for abortion.
Good Lord.
She flat out told you.
Yep.
Man, I tell you. Death cult. Absolute death cult. When we come back after a Fox News update and Neil Bort's report, Fair Fight is here and ready to cheat. Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy 5 months. Next on Extra 106.3.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, let's start this out by reminding people that there is no constitutional right to vote in a presidential election. The states, the cities, the individual municipalities, they can screw things up all they want. In Massachusetts, I believe, they're toying around with the idea of letting 16-year-olds vote. Federally, no constitutional right. With that background, years ago, Democrats passed in Congress something that we called the Motor Voter Bill. When you applied for a driver's license, the states were required to give you an application for voter registration. I called it the Welfare Voter Bill because the states were also required by federal law to give people voter registration forms when they applied for welfare. What a great idea. But 49 states now have upped it. Every state but Arizona now gives voter registration forms to so-called migrants, the polite woke name for illegal aliens. So now the list includes welfare benefits, driver's licenses, any other form of government assistance, and there's plenty for the illegals out there, with no proof of citizenship. Voter registration forms to people known to be non-citizens. And bear in mind, there is nothing on any federal voter registration form that requires any proof of citizenship. That includes requesting mail-in ballots. Not only does the present structure make it possible for illegal aliens to vote, it actually encourages them to do so. So how much confidence does that give you in our elections? Just asking. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture or big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Customer service seems like a lost art these days, but EMC Security is bringing it back. I was blown away with their service. They answer the phone quickly and truly want to help you, which is rare these days. My technician was friendly, answered all my questions, and got everything installed perfectly. I highly recommend EMC Security.
EMC Security, exceeding customer expectations since 1998. Call or visit emcsecurity.com for a free quote.
Hey fans, summer is here and you know what that means. Exterior painting season. At Atlanta Painting Company, this summer, save 10% off of all exterior projects and get a free color consultation. We understand how valuable your home is, so protect your investment with our industry-leading warranty and unmatched customer service. Don't just take our word for it. We have over 900 Google reviews telling you why we're the painters you can trust. Ready to get started? Visit us online at atlantapaintingcompany.com to schedule your free home consultation. The Atlanta Painting Company, the painters you can trust.
Isn't it funny that the same mainstream media who told us that laptop wasn't Hunter's and then told us this diary wasn't hers,
Yeah.
both times they lied to us about it?
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
It'll allow more migrants who came to the U.S. illegally to stay here legally. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. An executive order President Biden will sign today
to mark the 12th anniversary of DACA, which was a program that let people who arrived here illegally as children stay. Now it is going to be people who arrive illegally as the spouse of a U.S. citizen apply to stay. There are some specific requirements, though. In addition to being married to a U.S. citizen, you have to have been in the U.S. for at least 10 years. And then if you're approved, you get 3 years to apply for permanent residency.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House. This order does not apply to those who came here in the recent record surge of illegal immigration. A law in Iowa set to take effect next month, aiming to deport some of them, has been blocked by a federal judge.
Challenged by the Department of Justice and civil rights groups that said it violated the federal government's sole authority over immigration. The so-called illegal reentry law is similar to an earlier Texas law, which was also blocked and would make it a state crime to enter Iowa after being deported from or denied entry to the U.S.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, Russia's president, will be in North Korea today and tomorrow, thanking them for their help in Ukraine. The U.S. says North Korea has provided weapons and ammo. It's a good week to have air conditioning.
Record-breaking temperatures along with humidity, and we have heat advisories, heat warnings, from the Great Lakes all the way towards the Northeast.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dina could hit 95 degrees today in Pittsburgh and then get close to 100 in the coming days from D.C. to Maine. They're celebrating an NBA championship in Boston.
It's been a long time coming, and damn, it was worth it.
Jason Tatum scored 31 points, leading the Celtics to a winning Game 5 of the Finals, beating the Dallas Mavericks 106-88 on ABC. His teammate Jaylen Brown was named MVP.
I've been grateful for every moment, every opportunity. I never hug my head.
It is the Boston Celtics' 18th championship. That's an NBA record. America's listening to Fox News.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance. So when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
This is Tucker Carlson. You're listening to Atlanta's only conservative talk station, Extra 106.3, worldwide on the Extra app.
What is it that Front Office Los has in common with Ariana Grande? I'll tell you in just a moment on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
So interested.
Yes, and it is serial killers. Ariana Grande is so into serial killers.
I am not into her, but I might be now.
Yeah. So when she was on Nickelodeon, I guess she was on Sam and Cat.
Sam and Cat, that's when I initially saw her, because that was right in the perfect time when my now 13-year-old was about 4 or 5 years old and would watch the show.
She was doing like a Q&A with parents and the kids, and somebody asked her, if you could sit down and have a dinner with someone, anyone, living or dead, her answer, Jeffrey Dahmer. She says, I'm fascinated with him.
That'd be quite a meal.
I think I would love to have met him. Maybe with a third party or somebody involved, but I have so many questions. And apparently, so she's just super fascinated.
What's the best way to eat a human?
Maybe.
Like, no offense, but my political mind then goes to Bohemian Grove and the rumors of the Clintons and these liberals eating children and all of that stuff. Why would you pick that one? There's so many interesting serial killers that I wouldn't even bring that upon myself.
But there is this, I guess I would put it as a falling into hell. That man had these proclivities that included stealing mannequins to then practice what he was doing, because he was trying to curtail his issues.
Yeah.
And so, if you wanted to study somebody, if you want to do, like, again, I tell you about Mindhunter and reading the book. When the FBI during the late 70s started their program of trying to figure out who these people are and how to figure them out and how to build profiles off them that they could use to catch other serial killers, these are the people they went and talked to.
Right. I mean, look, I get it. I'd like to talk to Jeffrey Dahmer and ask him questions and all that stuff, but I want him to be behind a piece of glass.
Well, she said maybe a third party involved.
Okay, but I wouldn't say I'd like to go have dinner and sit down and have dinner with Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's an odd thing to say.
I'd love to go to the circus with Gacy.
She said this on a podcast called Pod Crushed with Penn Bagley. Penn Bagley played a serial killer on the Netflix show You, and is also in The Boy Is Mine video. One step further, there's also this. Evan Peters played Dahmer on the show Monster. He was in her video for We Can't Be Friends.
She's into it.
I like that, though.
She's into it. But, I mean, this is not irregular.
No.
Women.
Seems irregular.
No, I'm telling you, there are women that get obsessed with the danger.
Manson has, women writing him letters trying to marry him. Yes, absolutely. All that.
The amount of women that would reach out to these guys outside of the co-ed killer, and they would basically realize, hey, maybe I can fix them. Because every woman's looking to fix somebody.
I'm telling you. As soon as I read it, I was like, Lois, I found your... not soulmate, because you already have a soulmate, but your dear friend. Your next dear friend.
I was leaving the office yesterday, and I ran into our friend Nick Cellini, who works down the hall on our sports station, and he made some John Wayne Gacy reference to me.
Oh, wow.
And I just go, well, he was trying to hide his homosexuality by burying boys underneath his crawl space.
Oh, God, that's so weird.
That's all it came down to. It's like his sexual proclivities, his urges, he could not reconcile them, and he could not reconcile what it would mean to the community. So he would act them out and then kill the person and bury them.
Oh, my God, what a weirdo, man. What crazy, crazy world do we live in where there are people like that? I mean, what has gone wrong in your head? Like, find the Lord. Get yourself to church, something, because you need some serious help.
I don't think they're looking for the Lord. I think they are already entangled in hell.
But they need to.
Well, of course they do, but they're not going to.
No,
they're demons.
No.
You're not fixing that. It comes from probably a lot of trauma throughout their lives and throughout the history of their family's lives.
Maybe so.
And nobody's going to get them help when they're all sick like that. And then, of course, look, it's disgusting. It's scary. But I understand the intrigue by her, because you do kind of want to get into the human psyche of those people and understand, like, how did you get to this point? What did you do, or why did you do this? Sometimes it seems like it's ingrained in them. Like, when you hear about serial killers, like killing animals, like in the woods and doing things to practice, and they don't even know why they're doing that, but that's where it all starts. It's very sick.
Freaking crazy. Didn't Dahmer, though, say he found his faith before he was he executed? He was, right?
No, he was killed by another inmate.
Well, didn't he get into like some sort of Bible study class or something toward the end of it, right before he was killed?
Well, see, this is where you're looking into redemption. This is where I will turn the mirror on you, Mr. Tug Cowart. Do you know the name Dennis Rader?
Yes. Why do I know that, though?
Because that is the BTK killer.
Okay, yeah.
Which is one of the sickest dudes that was out there. And part of the reason why everybody flipped out is because he was the president of the council of his church for 30 years.
Yeah.
He was in the church.
Yeah.
He was hiding out. He had two different lives entirely.
Yeah, no, and that's not the first time that's happened.
No.
Yeah,
and that's part of the reason why it's so hard for these people to be caught, because when you finally see them, they're not the devil.
Yeah. No, they're regular people.
And that's Ariana
not
Grande's interest. It's like, how can you be so evil yet look so totally normal to everybody on the outside and blend right in with people?
But I think I'd read that. I don't know if that's true about Dahmer, but I'd read that a long time ago. It's fascinating, all of it.
Oh, he had a man beat him to death in prison.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's just, all of it's, all of it gives me the
You think he was like, please eat me when you're done killing me?
Nah, I think he's probably gotten by that.
If I remember correctly, somebody took like a broom handle and beat him to death.
Yeah.
Because they looked at it as, now I'm going to be the celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a sick and
them's prison rules.
Yeah, but what a sick and
But when you're
twisted
serving
way.
like 6 life, sentences, what do you care if you kill Jeffrey Dahmer at that point, right?
I mean, it's still the craziest story.
Still taking a life.
When it comes to Jeffrey Dahmer, if you don't know the story, where he had, at the time, I believe it was a 14-year-old young man that was in his apartment, and he convinced the police when they showed up, because they found him drugged up on the street, that it was his boyfriend, and he just so happened to be having an episode. And so the police escorted this person back to his apartment.
Good Lord.
And that person was one of the victims.
Dude, isn't it so
Kinda
weird?
creeps me out.
It creeped too. Rhino,
Took
me too.
one person who got away. Running down the street naked before the police finally was like, maybe we should check this dude out.
That is the craziest story, too, with Dahmer, and how many times that this has happened, and all the neighbors
Like the
saying,
close
hey,
calls, you
I
mean?
saw this kid, like, he disappeared. Like, this guy is doing this stuff. And they're like, no, we can't really. It is weird to, like, see that most people don't believe it's that person. That's the fascination to me, especially, like, with Gacy. Nobody believed it was him. Like, like the way that these serial killers are, I mean, they're evil geniuses, and I don't like. But it disgusts me to think that there are people like that who have come up with this way and can do it so easily.
But there were 2 areas where this was often overlooked. One was in the gay community, which is why Gacy was able to operate the way he was, why Dahmer was able to operate the way he was. And also, when you talk about sex workers, Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, the reason why he was able to kill as many as 50 women is because the police did not care about streetwalkers.
Right.
Yeah.
And he just kept going.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my God.
So, so I rub my, again, it's the epitome of evil, and I rub my hands together because I go, tell me about it, because oftentimes these people have the same sort of markers that they grew up with, and the tendencies that end up leading them down this path. Not everybody, but they do.
But the good news is Democrats are now giving them tools to like do the killings cleaner and easier, so they don't get sick or get any kind of.
Back to politics.
It's so nice.
Oh man, I get like there's the occasion that I will watch something like that, Lowe's, like a documentary like you're talking about, but usually it weirds me out so bad I turn it off.
Well, it's me and Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
and again, I don't find her, like, I know like some people are really obsessed with her. I guess just because
she's cute.
I guess just because I saw her when she was 17 years old and my daughter was, I'd never ever have looked at her as like, that's a sexual object.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, my like 4-year-old was into watching the show.
Yeah, when she
looks like she's 14 still.
Yeah, she still does, and she's adorable. She's an adorable little pop star. But I when she licked those donuts and showed who she really was, do you remember that story?
I don't.
She walked in, she wasn't happy with like this place, and she like grabbed the donuts and licked them all and put them back.
This is so weird.
You know what? She was just an obnoxious child, and I was like, you know what? You don't deserve what you have. You're obnoxious. These people are making donuts or working there, and you come in and act like an a-hole. Yeah, I never liked that girl.
Yeah, it happens.
She's adorable though. I get it.
Yeah,
she's a great singer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't think she?
I think she's okay.
Yeah.
I think she's okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't do it for me like at all. On any
I mean, I don't
level.
like her songs, but she's really a talented singer.
Yeah, I mean,
just because you can do whistle tones does not mean that you're that great.
Yeah, see, I don't think so either, man. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a skill. It's an unusual skill, and not many people have it, but Mariah Carey and her, right? Those are the only two that I can think of.
Mariah Carey's a much better singer.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm just glad that her co-star, Jeanette McCurdy, has finally figured out at 31 years old. Because I always thought she was kind of the attractive one in that show, and I was like, no, because she too is like 17 years old.
Yeah, see, I was so past. I don't know those shows. Maybe it was because I have a son. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. What was the name of her show again?
Sam and Cat.
Sam and Cat.
Nickelodeon.
The funny part is Liam got into that like at 12. Like 11 or 12, and he was like, "Oh, this show's funny and it's cool and whatever." And I was like,
it was
my
like
God.
preteen fun.
But her voice, like in that, like she's Cat, right? I think she's Cat. Her voice is so high pitched, it drove me nuts to hear it going in the other room.
Nails on the chalkboard.
Here, this is who that was.
Okay.
That was them as like 17-year-old girls, but playing. Yeah. They were appealing to my daughter.
Okay.
My daughter thought it was cool to watch them on their adventures.
Yeah.
Sam and Cat, there you go.
And then all the boys started watching because they wanted to be up to date to talk to the girls.
Well, yeah, for sure.
And plus, at that age,
smart.
those girls probably looked really good to them.
Like, could that not be more like, okay, that's like 13-year-old girl, but they're not 13.
Yeah,
they're 17.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, which is odd and peculiar to begin with. That always weirded me out too when they had
really Hollywood using sex to sell to your children. Wow,
yeah, I know.
How weird.
I know. No one really ever expected that. And I'm sure they'll put some reins on it. I'm sure they won't take that too far.
Never take that too far. Hey, let's do a movie about Disney movie for kids.
Yeah, unbelievable, man. This is what it is, unbelievable. But I think it's cool though that she has so much in common with Front Office Lowe's.
Me too.
Loves the serial killers. Or loves them. That's the wrong way to put it.
I like studying.
Fascinated by them.
This particular craziness.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Wayne Williams did quite a bit of that stuff in Atlanta.
Who?
Wayne Williams.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Now, not all of them.
Right.
Because I believe that he didn't do all of them. But when children stopped going missing in Atlanta, it was because Wayne Williams was captured.
Yeah, the Atlanta child murders, man. Holy cow. I remember, y'all, did I ever tell you the story about my mama? She'd leave us at McDonald's.
No,
so at Walnut Square Mall in Dalton, Georgia, where I'm from.
Like in the ball pit?
No.
Like drop you off for like kid care and be like, you guys stay in here until we come back. Use the slide, do whatever you need to do.
Kinda, a little bit like that. No, so right next to the McDonald's in Walnut Square Mall, way back when, there was a Sears, right? And so Mama would get us Happy Meal, and she'd say, "You sit right here, and I'm going to walk across. I just got to run in and get something at Sears,
of course.
Whatever it was." And she was like, "You realize I'm only going to be gone for a couple minutes, and if anybody comes up and tells you that your mama has said to come with them, you know that is the lie. That is a lie. Mm-hmm. I am not telling anyone to ever come and tell you to come with me. You do not. And if they try to take you or force you, you kick and scream and holler and whatever it takes, because they will cut your head off."
Oh, wow.
I'm not kidding. That's exactly what she said.
That Adam Walsh story really stuck.
Dude, she referenced it every time.
Know.
Baby Adam, they cut his head off,
Adam.
and they will do it to you too. If they try to take you, scream and holler, I'm telling you, they will do it like they did Baby Adam. They will cut your head off.
How am I such a encyclopedia of this?
Of crazy killers? Yeah. I don't know.
That's just one of those stories that
and it was the same
freaks people out. And
right
it's an
time
awful
frame.
Story. Yeah.
I'm telling.
Yeah, that was a big thing when we were younger.
Yeah,
you know, that was the story. Adam Walsh, and you are going to be taken. Don't go near here. My parents didn't tell me that my head was going to get cut off or anything.
My mama did.
But my parents did kind of say, hey, listen, unless it's a police officer, you don't go anywhere with anyone. Right. And it's so important. I do the same thing with my son now, even more now. Like, hey, if a man comes up to you and he's dressed like a woman, run. Scream and run.
No kidding. These days, you have to be so on top of everything, and you have to communicate with your kids so well. And maybe it's always been that way. I assume it's always been that way. But I just think now there's so many avenues to access your child.
Yeah.
Or children in general. Social media being the leader
absolutely.
Of just opening the doors.
Then we're told, no, that's not who this is. This isn't. And then you find out that every one of these activists they all get arrested. So now you're looking at all different aspects of people to see, hey, how is this person really going after our children? Why are they doing these certain things? But it is really scary. I think it's scarier now than it was when, a lot of people, probably even when Jacob was younger, it probably wasn't even as scary as it is now. I mean, it
because
gets worse.
Social media had just kind of started populating a little bit, when he was young. So he missed it, at least the biggest part of it. He was more toward his late teens before that was ever really. Take that back. I remember him saying it was probably 10 or 12 when he was like, I want a social media account. And I was like, no, you can't have anything until, you're not even allowed until you're 13. And I thought that would have put it to bed, man. 13 rolls around. He's like, Dad, I'm back. I need an Instagram account. And
Whoa,
you know, so that's where.
Yeah, Liam just got a Snapchat, and we had to have a huge conversation about the people. And I said, listen, these are your friends. I want to see your list. Let me see. And we have that conversation like, okay, this person, if you do not accept a request from anybody you do not know, and until you're in front of that person and it's a kid in your school and you know them, then you could talk to me and show me the account, show your mother the account, because it is important. You don't know what these people are trying to do to access your kids. I mean, they dress up and come to your school now. They have changed the way that everything is worded in so many different ways, not to mention all the dangers that are out there for our kids every single day.
Morning Extra on Extra 106.3, 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by, this is 8 o'clock hour. I was trying to give you Van's Hand Law.
Let's go to 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we fast forward to 9.
Go ahead. If you're going to go forward, not backwards.
That's right. That would make the most sense. The 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
All right, here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Tuesday, June 18th. Brian Steele, the attorney for rapper Young Thug, filed a motion to have Judge Ural Glanville recuse himself from the trial. Steele also filed a motion for a mistrial, citing improper conduct by the court and prosecution. The motion alleges that the court and prosecutors had an unlawful, improper ex parte meeting with witness Kenneth Copeland and others. The killing of a food service worker by an inmate who then took his own life in a Georgia prison has led Governor Brian Kemp to hire consultants to conduct an in-depth assessment to identify ways to improve the prison system. The governor announced that the Georgia Department of Corrections will have visits from Guidehouse Inc., a consulting group, over the next 12 months to come up with recommendations on changes to the system that will improve public safety statewide. And in sports, the Braves have now won 4 of their last 5 games after a 2-1 win over the Detroit Tigers last night at Truist Park. Ozzie Albies hit a go-ahead homer in the 8th inning to secure the victory for the Braves. Up next, Braves rookie Spencer Schwellenbach will make his 4th start tonight against the Tigers with that 6.3 ERA. First pitch from Truist Park is scheduled for 7:20.
Now the Democrats are limiting what you're able to see when it comes to Joe Biden's gaffes. Next on the Morning Extra, Tug, Rhino, and Los until 10. After that, Beck, Clay, and Buck, local afternoon show with the Kimmer. And then, soon as Kimmer's done, it oftentimes gets overlooked, and I want to make sure that we don't ever do that as best I can. And that is Jesse Kelly. Dude is the biggest rising star in conservative media, man. It is unreal, his show. Do not miss it. 6 to 9 here on Extra 106.3.
The Kimmer Show is only live on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
It's true. Every single legal analyst, including on the liberal networks, are now admitting, it's really, but it's clearly this is a kangaroo court. This is Venezuela. This is Cuba. This is Russia.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Hey, it's Rhino here for my friends over at True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. Listen, they got a lot of things going on right now at True Prep, including a blood drive coming up on July 1st. But I want you to pay attention to a lot of the other workshops that they have. The good part about True Prep, one of the greatest parts, is, number one, they have everything you need for emergency preparedness supplies, whether it's your freeze-dried food, and you can already get it prepackaged, or you can do it yourself. They got all the tools, including Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers, but also water filtration. And I'm talking about stuff that will save your life in an emergency when the power's out, when you can't get a fresh supply. You got to check out all their water filtration, plus their first aid kits, their AR-15s, their firearms, firearm accessories, and ammo. Like I said, they got everything you need to be prepared. But what if you're getting started? What if you don't know what to do? Well, they got a lot of great classes there, workshops that can help you get started right away, whether it's putting together or your intro to emergency preparedness or putting together a go bag or a bug out bag. But they also have great classes like, hey, how to save money and They have a solar class coming up. It got canceled last week because of some emergencies, but now they're ready to do it again, and they'll give you tax-saving incentives and how to manipulate and get those taxes back from the evil government and still be able to use solar in a responsible way. So go check out their workshops, and it's online at trueprep.com, or just go visit them, talk to them, and get started today and make sure your family is safe. True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRU prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
At Nelson Elder Care Law, we understand that family's everything. That's why we prioritize your family's future with personalized asset protection solutions. Call us today to schedule your legacy planning meeting and discover how our team can tailor our services to meet your family's unique needs, ensuring a secure and worry-free future. NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
Want weather? Grab your phone. Need traffic? Grab your phone. Conservative news and talk, also on your phone. Get the Extra 106.3 app.
Comedians oftentimes say the things that need to be said. Their observation of what's happening around them in the world is always incredible. And their timing has to be perfect, right? If you're going to pull off a joke, the timing has to work. There's a comedian named Ryan Goodcase. I saw this last night, and I was like, holy cow, man, this dude has nailed this bit. He's got it down to the second. It's going viral. That's the reason it blew up and showed up in my timeline. It's a self-deprecating joke that requires this perfect timing, and he enlists an audience member to help him count down from 60 seconds, and then he goes into the routine. Listen to this.
Comedy's all about timing. I'm going to demonstrate how good my timing is with this next joke. It's going to be exactly 60 seconds long. I need somebody's help. What I want you to do is to count backwards in your head from 60 to 0, and when I point at you, yell out what number you're on. So I was talking to my dad recently, and my dad's a pretty old guy. He was born in like 1956. So I don't know how old that makes him, but it's sure older than 48. Right, guys? So anyways, I was trying to brag to him one day. I don't know how it comes up, but he goes, Ryan, how many women did you sleep with in college? And I was like, I don't know, probably like 40, which is a total lie. It's a total lie. Like, if I was being honest with him and I counted all the women I've ever slept with throughout my entire life, the number would probably be closer to 20. I did not point yet. Two. Hey, right,
there we go. And it gets to the end. That's probably closer to the answer.
It's a smart joke, man.
It is.
It's a smart joke.
And how many times did you have to go through that routine to make it work, to make it time out right?
Yeah, I mean, it probably worked out real well in practicing that joke, but yeah, really well told.
I've got a timer on, and I started it about a second and a half late, and it was perfectly hitting when he said 48.
Ain't that crazy, dude?
30. 25, yeah.
And
but the best part is, it doesn't have to be. You know, like the whole part of that joke is like any one of those numbers works, but you need to get to the one or two people at the end,
the
which
two
works.
number, right, is the most important. Like when you're being self-real, it's actually 2.
And I think as a comedian, or even us, you know, like when we do commercials, when we do things, we know about what 60 seconds is. It took us a while. When you get into this business, you don't realize how long 60 seconds is, but his timing for all his jokes and his set, man, that was a really well put together joke.
It's just super clever. I
feel like Simon Cowell now.
Yeah, you should bring it down.
The golden buzzer.
That's right. You're in.
I firmly believe, though, when these guys are cutting their teeth and they're given 5 minutes, they know exactly what 5 minutes is after they've done it 100 times.
And you got to nail it, too,
like,
right?
How is my pacing? Because telling one joke after another over 5 minutes is not going to work the same way as I got to give you a 5-minute show.
That's right.
And they get a sense for it. That's why they're pros. They're awesome.
Fun. And we've all worked with comedians before, and that's the worst thing you can do is when you're with a comedian is expect them to tell a joke, because most comedians don't tell jokes.
They tell stories.
They tell stories.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And that's why storytelling is so important, because it's so engaging and it takes you to a place that you probably weren't before or didn't know you were going.
Yeah, and it's so much fun. I mean, it's in music, it's in comedy, it's in movies and TV. I mean, the storytelling, and it's obviously in radio as well. So I love storytelling. I love creativity when it comes to creating those jokes. It's so nice to hear any kind of refreshing, new kind of
I've never heard anything like that before.
Yeah, no,
that was just
fun.
very clever. I thought it was well done. Morning Xtra on Extra 106.3, we let you see that because it's good, it's funny. And sometimes you see things that aren't as good and aren't as funny. Well, that's unless you want to see Joe Biden on video with all of his gaffes, because, well, they're trying to limit that, Los.
How damn dangerous must this be? Now, I want you to take a listen to this piece of audio. This is Joe Biden, and this is from over the past weekend, and he's doing basically he's in the Q&A session. Jimmy Kimmel is the host. They're raising all this money in Hollywood. Obama is off to his left. And Obama's making the craziest face in the world because Joe Biden starts to babble on about the economy. Now, we'll get into the bigger picture of this, but take a listen to what it sounded like.
And guess what? It's growing. The economy's growing. People are doing better. We have the highest unemployment, the lowest unemployment rate in 15 years. We have more people. We've had over 15 million people brand new hired into the workforce. You know, my son says we all have various short-term descriptions for your jobs. What you accomplish. He just says,
it's like he's tailing off.
So he starts trying to explain that it's Joe jobs, and he says we have the highest unemployment, and then he's like trying to reel it back in. And so understand that is cell phone video, because any video from that particular night,
it's been cut.
Has been cut. You're not allowed. In fact, there right now is a situation where if you try and air it on network television, Fox News or anywhere else,
getting a C&D,
there's a giant fine that's associated to it, because they realize, and this is the danger of what's going to happen when it comes to the debate coming up in 9 days, this is what they fear, is that when he gets up on stage in front of people, you're going to realize how diminished that he is. And they've made it a point. We are going to hide this as much from the American public as possible. This is as big as Hillary Clinton falling over at the 9/11 memorial in 2016.
Anytime, anywhere, Jack, as long as these rules are put in place to make me look like I am a little bit less of a complete fool than everybody already knows I am.
But does the American public, you think they know that as far as...
Of course.
No. I'm talking about the idea that they're the curtailing of making sure that you don't see this video.
No.
And
they don't even know about the rules, probably.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
They don't know about it unless they're listening to our station. You think CNN's like, here are the rules, this is what's set out?
And here's the other part, Lowe's, is that should at least get people to thinking about this, because they're limiting the access to the video, right? In this debate, there's going to be no crowd to film anything. The video will have to come officially from CNN, and CNN will be taking the orders from the Biden administration to say, do not release this, right?
Yeah.
So even those gaffes that we see live, I guess the only way is if you're filming your TV, right?
Yeah.
Or go back, if you DVR it, then I guess...
Well, you could record it on your computer. I mean, there's plenty of... And that's what we're going to end up getting. But yeah, there's obviously a reason they're hiding all this. And I'd love to hear from liberals, because all I hear is, well, Donald Trump's the same. He forgot a name the other day. It's not even close to the same. So then why? Why do they hide if Joe Biden's just as great as can be, and you believe all the lies that the media is telling you, then why do they have to use executive privilege to not allow any of the audio tapes from his own biography? Why are they shutting down all of the live feeds, number one? Number two, when it's done, making sure that you can't use any of the footage. And then number three, calling everything a deep fake.
So Biden freezes up on stage. We all, now, maybe not all, because they've done their very best to cover it up. But you then had the White House and reaching out to all their social media influencers. Here's how they all played it. David Hogg, when it came to Biden freezing on stage. For the record, this did not happen as a total lie. Harry Sisson, MAGA is lying again. The new lie is that Biden had to be led off stage by Obama and that he froze, but that is completely false. Brian Tyler Cohen, right-wing media is becoming so desperate they're just making up fake stories out of thin air. Alex Vindman, propaganda, garbage, peeing in the wind because NYC is still going to vote for Biden. Rufus Gifford, nothing remotely close to this actually happened. They flat out were told.
Yeah.
Start curtailing this.
Here's the memo.
Here's the memo. Make sure that this didn't happen, or at least when it comes to social media, you won't look into it.
But the other thing is, Rhino, the only place I saw it was on X. That's it. I've not seen it on Facebook. I've not seen it on Instagram. I've not seen it on Snapchat. I've seen it any. Those are the four that I connect to a little bit. Twitter, now X, being the most used for me anyway, but I've not seen it anywhere else following except there.
Yeah, most people can't get a meeting with the president unless you're an influencer now. And there's a good reason for that, because they realize social media is the access to the youth and access to most people. Even some of the older people, they're still on Facebook. They're still, they know this is the range. We got to get influencers to spread our lies for us. Everybody who sees it has to know the truth. Again, I'd love for a liberal to tell me why they're hiding all this, or why they're just not showing everything out and say, no, see, he is perfectly fine. But this is the manipulation that these kind of people, Harry Sisson, who's paid by the Democrats, they are there to influence you and tell you this is the Orwell thing, and you're going to see it all over X. This is them saying, don't believe your eyes.
That's right.
Listen to what we tell you.
What's the Orwell quote? There's a direct
the
quote.
1984 quote. Yeah, I can't remember it off the top of my head. But basically,
don't use your common sense.
Don't use your common sense. Don't use your own eyes. Just listen to what they tell you to believe, and that's what people are doing. Democrats are sheep. That's all they are. They have no mind of their own. Because if they did, they'd be able to admit Biden is cognitively just declined. But I'd rather have a dead man in office than Donald Trump. That would be at least an honest take from a liberal to me. But I don't even get that. I get, oh no, he's way sharper, and look at all the great things he's done for the economy. And I'm like, wow, you guys are that delusional?
The quote is, the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. They're making sure that the American public doesn't see him freeze up, because that's twice in a week.
Yeah.
The Juneteenth celebration and then in Hollywood, where he just froze and was stuck there.
So even if, because the lie by the liberals, by the way, is that, well, Joe was up there on the stage clapping and it was time to go.
He was frozen.
Name me one other president, Democrat or Republican, that another president went over and grabbed their hand to remove him from the stage. It's one thing if he's up there like any other president with the first lady, and she grabs his hand and they walk off together. But you will always see the president, no matter what, grab the hand of the first lady. You never see another president or another person grab that person unless, of course, they're very sick, or like if George Bush was in a wheelchair, yeah, maybe another president will push the wheelchair out. But unless they're very sick, another president doesn't grab the president of the United States' hand during his presidency and walk him off a stage no matter what.
I think it's interesting you said very sick, because we all believe that Joe Biden is very sick.
Of course he is.
So, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Your description is really, really well and well timed.
And abused. He's abused.
For sure.
Barack Obama, Michael Obama, and the Clintons, all of them are abused, and Jill is all in on it.
Dude,
This
no doubt. There's no doubt about that.
Happen. How silly
It didn't happen, Lowe's.
is that? And again, nobody can show it.
Yeah.
Nobody on network television.
Why aren't we playing this game?
Which
Trump? That never happened. Jan 6. What are you talking about? That never happened. That's a deep fake.
Yeah. Morning Extra at Extra 106.3.
Kind of was, though.
The Biden replacement plan is in motion in case Biden's not up for the job. Next on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Tug, Rhino, front office Los until 10.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Well, the students at Columbia who were involved in the Useful Idiots demonstration now have sent a demand letter to Columbia insisting that all final exams be called off and a passing grade given to every student. Why?
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Atlanta, good morning. It's Los. Let's talk about Cub Cadet. And where do you get Cub Cadet? Well, you go over to Howard Brothers. The move to the zero-turn mower, it's happening all over the place. It's exciting for the homeowner because if you're looking to step up your lawn game and you're looking to get yourself the best thing that's out there, you can get yourself a zero-turn mower from Cub Cadet, and you get that at Howard Brothers. Ask yourself this question. Is saving time important to you? Is sidestepping obstacles important to you? Is improving your overall mowing experience important to you? Well, then step up from your current situation. If so, if those are important to you, then you go and check out the full line of Cub Cadet mowers over at Howard Brothers, especially those zero-turn mowers. Howard Brothers sells and services Cub Cadet and has the largest selection of Cub Cadet parts around. Visit their stores to learn more. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Howard Brothers and Cub Cadet.
Well, Stephen, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we ran your background check and there were several red flags.
Like what?
You were arrested 7 times for reckless driving.
So
you're applying for the school's bus driver position.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon Background Screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. horizonscreening.com.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
Foundation repair isn't pretty, but at Atlanta Ramjack, we make it easy. If you notice any cracks in your foundation, they need to be addressed as soon as possible to reduce additional costs that come with the repair. Why call us? Foundation repair is all we do. We have highly trained estimators that will thoroughly evaluate your home and only recommend what is needed. If you are experiencing foundation problems, please contact us at ramjack.com/Atlanta or call us at 770-502-8881.
Marketing is everywhere, from the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone.
We are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Extra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
My name is Pamela Conley. I've worked for Bruce Hagen for 22 years. It's been the best years of my life, and not everyone can say that about their jobs. I'm the intake specialist for new clients, so I am the voice you hear when you call our office and the first face you see when you come by. I love sharing my years of experience with people and alongside Bruce, helping them through what is so often a really hard time. My name is Pamela Conley, and I work for Bruce Hagen. Let him work for you. Hagen-law.com.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is always streaming live across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. Get the live stream and your favorite Extra podcast anywhere you go. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android.
I fully expect that Joe Biden will be the nominee for the Democrat Party, but just in case Joe has to throw in the towel, there are some people that are ready on go to install another person, or maybe even force him, Los, to throw in the towel.
Daily Mail had the article yesterday talking about the secret plans that you now have the Democrats talking about. Not that secret, really. Yeah. But the idea is that it really comes down to the Biden White House versus the rest of the communists, the rest of the Democrat Party. That the Biden White House has basically thrown down the gauntlet that he's going to run. And that is why we're getting such a early debate to show he's in good enough shape to do this. Because as it stands from this article from the Daily Mail, you have the Chuck Schumers, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Barack Obamas, the Hillary Clintons. These are the rest of the factions on the other side that would like to do this. They would like to get to the convention and convince Joe, let's be a united front and let's nominate someone else. And that's their plan.
Yeah.
And so everything comes down to 9 days from now. How do you perform? If you pass, maybe you get a chance to pass and run for this thing. If you don't, this is what the plan is moving forward. And from all the details of this story from the Daily Mail, the Biden administration, Joe Biden especially, fighting, kicking, making sure that this will not happen, that she has to maintain power along with Joe.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I do believe that at this point,
kicking and screaming, man.
Dude, I believe, though, that Joe is still going to be the guy. I don't know how they push him out, because he could say anything. Can you imagine the things that he would say that they've said behind closed doors that aren't supposed to be aired out, the dirty laundry, like that all of a sudden he would air if they pushed him out?
But they don't have much of a choice at this point. I mean, when you look at swing states, this is setting up to be the biggest landslide victory for Donald Trump, no matter what they say, a 34-time convicted felon. And regardless, the American people know that these are BS charges, and the numbers keep getting better for Donald Trump. He's gaining so much more. I mean, at this point, if the numbers hold up and the poll numbers look like they're pretty solid, even if they're not, if they're 3 points off, he's still demolishing numbers that he shouldn't be, but it's all because people realize Joe Biden is exactly who we've been saying he is for the past 47 years, a scumbag senator that is cognitively now at this point just not viable to run this country, even though they're going to continue to push him. And people realize that this system has been weaponized, and that's why these numbers are coming. They got to make a change.
Within this article, it points out a name that it's hallowed ground for the Democrats, for the communists. It's Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who ended up dying. Remember, she was a picture of health. Look how ready to go. Exactly. She's a Supreme Court justice. She passes away, and so suddenly, well, Trump gets to name another conservative.
And they had been trying to get her to step down.
To go. This refers to Joe Biden as Ruth Bader Biden. Okay, they're concerned about the same thing, that you are going to die on the vine over the next several months, and we need to get somebody who is actually functional. This is, as much as we take shots at Joe Biden, and rightfully so, because the country is in total disarray, they on their side have a civil war going on. And they're trying to keep it under wraps. They're trying to play the game, and the media is trying to help them out, but it's not working.
But that's why I think that Joe Biden, if they were to push him out, like, he knows that. He knows where all the skeletons are. And have you ever seen somebody that is in a diminished capacity say things that they wouldn't normally say out loud?
Yeah.
I mean, my grandmother did. My grandfather did. I mean, there was sometimes you're like, oh, my God, I can't believe they just said what they said. Can you imagine a mentally diminished man angry because he's being pushed out? The things he would say, I think, man, trying to limit the damage of that would be an extraordinary task.
Oh, they're not going to push him out. He'll go to sleep.
Oh, do you think they're going to Clinton him?
Just saying. There's certain things that you don't want out there. But I don't understand where they'd go at this point. I think they have it set up the way they want. He can lose this election and they can install Kamala Harris, another easy person to manipulate and get to do all of your bidding. And if you're the Obamas, the Clintons, and everybody else who's behind the scenes.
Well, not if he loses, though, right?
Well, he's going to lose regardless, but Kamala Harris can't win. Who are they going to bring in that's going to be able to win this thing at this point? Because even if they got him out and move her up, then she's not going to relate any better right now. I think they've gone too far. They can't win this no matter who they put in. You can't put Newsom in. California is a complete disaster. He'll get torn apart. They'd have to find somebody. I mean, I guess a Gretchen Whitmer might be able to kind of like sneak through, but I don't think she's a viable candidate for them. I think the best thing for them to do is they know they're going to lose. They got to get House and Senate seats. They know that. And they know they're going to lose with Biden. But if they do win, they already got Kamala Harris in there ready to go.
Well, you are talking about the situation of when you make a DEI hire and it doesn't work out, you are the kings of DEI. You can't just get rid of Kamala Harris. But within this Daily Mail article, it points out they need a young candidate to give a speech on the convention floor that then launches them into, Joe, the rest of us have decided this is what's going to be best for the party. Here's how we're going to go with this person.
And that's what Steve Forbes was saying.
And they'll coalesce behind them. That's the entirety of this article in their plan. But again, I just brand. I don't know if there's a big enough brand out there for people to get behind.
But I'll tell you, hate Trump enough, you'll coalesce behind anything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, at 9:25, we're going to talk about a guy. And I talked about him yesterday. And I think that's the guy because you do have to really manage the fact that you've gone so far saying we're going to give this black woman the job because she's black. And it's happened at the Supreme Court level. It's happened at the press secretary level. And of course, it's happened at the VP level. So that's the biggest problem for them is how do you alienate and get rid of Kamala Harris? Because she's not going to win you anything, and get a stronger candidate in there. Well, then you go bigger and you go blacker. And that's what they need to do. Whether you like it or not, they need a good, strong black candidate in the Democrat Party to energize that base again and bring those numbers back. Because right now, with Donald Trump grabbing 17% more of the black vote than he did in 2020, that's a landslide victory. They need to find someone that can bring that number back to their favor. So they will find somebody. And look, like I said, we'll talk about him at 9:25.
The fun part about this Daily Mail article is it does point out how Barack Obama didn't back Joe Biden in 2016 and he didn't want to run in 2020 because he didn't feel he could win. And so when they talk about the power base, the Chuck Schumer, the Nancy Pelosi, the Barack Obama, the Hillary Clinton, that if you have Barack Obama trying to push this, that's going to make the Biden White House even more so going. There's no way we're running. We're running.
And the crazy thing is, if let's say it happens and they're trying to figure out who to use, you know who's going to be jockeying for the position? Hillary. She is going to jockey.
Yes. She loves it.
Oh,
sure,
dude,
of course.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying she deserves it or they want her. I'm saying she is going to do everything she can.
But they do point out young, like they need something different.
It doesn't matter what I'm just telling you what Hillary's going to do. She's going to try to hijack it all.
Yeah, she's been already trying to hijack it. You know, at the Tony Awards, she had to make her speech and make, a big deal about it. But again, look, that's a female. So it still kind of fits for their agenda of, hey, we're the party
and
of
it's
giving.
A big brand.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, big brand.
But I don't think people like her. I don't
think so either.
Again, she's too old. Of course, she's going to try to get in there as much as possible.
That's the key.
But Michelle Obama is the one that you should be worried about. But again, I think it's too late for her too. So again, you have to find somebody that can replace that minority and replace that DEI hire.
I don't think it's too late for Michelle. She could come in and the world would stop.
But here's the danger. Anyone, if they end up taking up this mantle and they run against Donald Trump and they lose in November, their political career is largely over. So it's the young upstart, the person whose trajectory is going the right way. It's not like they're going to want a piece of this right now either.
No.
Why would you?
And that's like Hakeem Jeffries would be a good pick for them, but he still needs like 4 years, but he'll be there. Sooner or later, he'll be there.
Morning Xtra and Extra 106.3, 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com is their website. When we come back, how do they defend Joe's terrible approval numbers? They say, well, Trump's are just as bad, even if they're not. Next on the Morning Xtra after a Neil Bortz report and a Fox News update. This is Extra 106.3.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, let's start this out by reminding people that there is no constitutional right to vote in a presidential election. The states, the cities, the individual municipalities, they can screw things up all they want. In Massachusetts, I believe, they're toying around with the idea of letting 16-year-olds vote. Federally, no constitutional right. With that background, years ago, Democrats passed in Congress something that we called the Motor Voter Bill. When you applied for a driver's license, the states were required to give you an application for voter registration. I called it the Welfare Voter Bill because the states were also required by federal law to give people voter registration forms when they applied for welfare. What a great idea. But 49 states now have upped it. Every state but Arizona now gives voter registration forms to so-called migrants, the polite woke name for illegal aliens. So now the list includes welfare benefits, driver's licenses, any other form of government assistance, and there's plenty for the illegals out there, with no proof of citizenship. Voter registration forms to people known to be non-citizens. And bear in mind, there is nothing on any federal voter registration form that requires any proof of citizenship. That includes requesting mail-in ballots. Not only does the present structure make it possible for illegal aliens to vote, it actually encourages them to do so. So how much confidence does that give you in our elections? Just asking. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Xtra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
Software engineer 2 positions with Warner Media Services, LLC in Atlanta, Georgia. Build new technical solutions for multiple applications to meet global data privacy regulations for CNN Digital's online platforms. Email resume to wbdi@wbd.com. Reference number 730-7320-SEII3. Again, to apply, email resume to wbdi@wbd.com. Reference number 730-7320-SEII3.
Hey sandwich lovers, today's your lucky day. There's a whole new way to roll for lunch or dinner delight with Nucky's Hoagies in the Roswell Corners Shopping Center. Now open. Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell is family owned and operated by the Sub-Sisters, Stacy and Shannon, whose love language is food and Nucky's Hoagies, their passion. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, along with hunger-quenching sandwich combinations. Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner.
I'm trying, my friends, I'm trying really hard to live up to the precepts of that wonderful book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Flip.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app. WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors, quality and precision.
They are American adversaries and allies. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Russian President Vladimir Putin will soon arrive in North Korea for a 2-day visit, thanking leader Kim Jong-un in person for supporting Russia in Ukraine. The U.S. says North Korea has given them weapons and ammo, while NATO keeps arming Ukraine. The alliance's leader, Jens Stoltenberg, is in Washington for talks and just told Fox.
President Putin has to realize that Ukraine will remain a democratic, independent country in Europe. And the only way to convince him about that is to demonstrate for him that he will not win on the battlefield.
And Ukraine has just hit a Russian oil facility, setting it on fire.
Speaking anonymously, a Ukrainian official said drones were used to conduct a long-range strike, an attempt to hamper Russia's war infrastructure carried out by Ukraine's security service, the SBU. Ukraine has increased the number of airstrikes on Russian soil in recent months.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. President Biden will issue an executive order today
that is going to give spouses of U.S. citizens who are not U.S. citizens themselves a pathway to citizenship. We have some details here. You have to be married to a U.S. citizen. You have to have lived in the U.S. for at least 10 years.
As Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House. The New York Post reports a migrant who came to the U.S. illegally in 2021 from Ecuador has been arrested, suspected of raping a 13-year-old girl in a New York City park last week. Summer doesn't arrive till Thursday, but it already feels like July.
Stay indoors. Stay with your air conditioning. If you don't have AC, go to a library, a government building, or a cooling center near you.
Governor Kathy Hochul in New York, where it'll top 95 degrees this weekend and feel like more than 100 from there up to Maine. Heat advisories or warnings from Missouri to Delaware. We just got an update on the economy showing we're hesitant spending money. Retail sales rose less than expected last month, just 0.1%. That's better than the decline in April as we deal with inflation and high interest rates. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance. So when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
I wake up every morning with the Morning Extra.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra at Extra 1063. Download the app. It is free and available for Apple and Android. Love for you to follow us throughout the day. Of course, during the Morning Extra, as it's playing, as it's live on the air. But if you can't, you can go back and listen to it at your leisure. Then you can listen to any of the shows live or at your leisure, including the Glenn Beck program. Play Travis and Buck Sexton carrying that torch that was lit by the late, great Rush Limbaugh. They certainly carry that torch well. They're on the air. Biggest show in all of conservative media. I can't remember if I said that or not, but if I did, sorry for repeating it. But it's the truth. From noon to 3 and then 3 until 6, you get the I like to call him our Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
Our gunslinger. Our madman in the afternoon.
Madman.
Yosemite Sam, as if he's going to pull out those Desert Eagles and shoot himself off the floor.
Dude, I love it. Dude, that's one of my favorite things Yosemite Sam did.
Yeah, me too.
Lift himself up off the ground, firing his 6-shooters.
Well, he can do that. He just flies backwards when he shoots it forward. So if he put it down and just shoot up into the ceiling, it'd be great.
There we go.
I have one picture on my phone that AI created that I still can't get rid of, and it's of the two old men shooting a Desert Eagle, and one of them's arm is flying off. And I'm like, camera 3 to 6. It's like, I can't get rid of it.
It's one of my favorite ones.
So good. So good. I love it.
Tug, did you see they're making a new Looney Tunes movie?
I did. I tried it. I just remember how bad Space Jam 2 was. You know, I mean, come on. You think they're going to get this right? No,
this
they're
one
not.
isn't live action mix. It's just the animation.
But they've done Looney Tunes, so many new Looney Tunes versions, and they all suck.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
Oh,
Right
so
now.
bad.
How woke is it?
I'm sure very.
Is the entire story is of that time that Bugs Bunny put lipstick on to trick someone?
That's
and
every
now
episode.
he's a trans bunny.
Fooled
you.
Yeah,
Fooled you. I'm a trans bunny.
That's right. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I was kind of relatively excited about the new Peanuts, the new Charlie Browns, but then I know it's going to be the same stuff.
Yeah.
And especially because it's on Apple TV. Come on, it's going to be the same.
They just, the teacher now is Joe Biden, and they just use him.
That's right. It sounds about the same. I mean, there's not that much.
Starring Joe
Yeah.
as the teacher.
Did y'all realize it's the 20th anniversary of Napoleon Dynamite?
No.
Wow,
It's been
yeah, that sounds about right.
You remember how huge the Vote for Pedro t-shirts were? Dude, I was so reluctant to watch that movie. I was like, this is going to be the stupidest thing. I can't believe I'm watching it. And when I did, I was like, oh my God, this is really funny. I loved it. But I didn't expect to, and I didn't want to.
No, I didn't either. I was like, all right, this is going to be dumb. And it was a really good movie, but that's as far as it went for me. Like, oh, that was fun. That was funny. Like, I've never seen it again, nor do I need to, nor did I follow, like, the Vote for Pedro or any of the kind of
I didn't buy the T-shirt either.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I loved the movie after I saw it.
The fun part about that entire movie is they asked, I remember, hearing the interview with the director and the cast, and they said, what is the time period? And they said, Idaho.
Idaho.
And that's why it kind of
funny.
stands up.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
you don't really know exactly.
Yeah.
It's just kind of this weird throwback.
Yeah, that's right. The folks at Ore-Ida, it's funny you bring up Idaho and potatoes. Ore-Ida has, they've got John Heder to portray Napoleon Dynamite in a few new ads promoting, well, they call it tot protecting pants. And they resemble the joggers that he's wearing in the movie, but with a red zipper tot protecting pocket on the upper leg.
20 years later, still haunted by crushed tots. Give me some of your tots.
That was a great
Now
campaign.
from Rhino comes tot protecting pants. I'll eat as many as I want to. Gosh.
So
Potato
good.
dots.
So he got a
Potato dots.
He got a run out of that for a couple of
He
years.
sure did, man.
But that character is so iconic.
I know.
It's like you never get past that. You're always going to be Napoleon Dynamite.
Did he ever do anything other than that? I mean, I know he did.
Blades of Glory is.
Oh,
is,
see, I
is
never
a,
saw that one.
Is a fun movie.
He also did one of the like super bad, not like that, not super bad, but a movie like that.
Like
I forgot
kinda
which
that
one.
same vein.
Yeah, they also had it was another one of the comedies of it was a softball baseball movie with a bunch of guys pretending to be
Bench warmers.
Bench warmers. Jacob, my son loves that movie. He just
Yeah.
watched it last weekend.
Again, it's fun. That's what he was doing.
David Spade's in there too. Rob Schneider as well? Is that the 3?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Janelle loves Napoleon Dynamite.
Me
Napoleon
too, but I
Dynamite
didn't want to.
Is a fun one.
That's his. That's the new tot protecting the potato dot protecting
Yes.
britches. We'll show it to the folks on
I love
YouTube. It is him laying on a couch.
But there's
if you go
so
to
many
YouTube to see it.
characters in that entire movie, like his brother.
So good, yeah.
And the idea, also when they try to get the time machine, they put the crystals in it, and
Yeah.
it just electrocutes them.
Yeah, dude. There's just You're right. There's so many
Good
things.
for a rider, though. I love that. You know, it's funny because when we were out in Colorado, my friend Sam, she was like, when we walk, like, I'm going to get really hungry. We're both Jews, so we complained the entire time, like, we were climbing and all that. And I said, listen to me. I got a pocket that's made just for potato dots, and I'm keeping the
Now-
potato dots. And when you need them, I'll have them there. Now
they look
they've
like
already.
those?
No, they were like my cargo pants.
Oh, okay, got it.
But same thing.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Yeah.
Because y'all were
Now
just
I'm
out
gonna
there.
buy those.
I know. Y'all were just out there, what, 10 days ago? Has it
Yeah.
been 10 days
It
even?
hasn't even been
Yeah.
10 days, has it? Yeah.
That's awesome. So good.
Come on, Kip.
Yeah, dude.
And then, of course,
I didn't want to like it, and I did.
There's so many little things in that, like, still to this day.
Yeah.
I will joke around when it doesn't make any sense to my daughter, but I will grab a ball and go, how much you want to bet I can throw it over them mountains?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense to her at all.
Of course.
Yeah.
You gotta. Yeah, that's a movie that's. It's not out there so much that, and sexually or anything that I recall anyway, that kids can't watch
No,
it.
not at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
I just didn't get it
You got to
as
show
much.
her. You got to show her the movie.
It's just quirky.
Yeah.
And
I don't
know.
get the fascination with it. Like, I enjoyed the movie; it was funny.
Yeah, I loved
but
it.
like,
I
it's
loved
not to me. It's not like the cult class. Like, I could care less of ever seeing it again.
Oh, really? Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I can't wait to go back and watch
still-
it just because of this.
I still get a giggle out of, and this was a guy that he was a real dude. They hired him, was the one who basically he's running the egg farm, and the way he talks as far as and he's sitting there drinking eggs.
Yeah.
And what do they do? Like, for lunch, they have sandwich with egg
Yeah.
and drink egg. It's gross.
It's so gross, so weird. Yeah, man. I can't remember if Jacob seen. Yes, he has. I think that's when I watched it. It was with him the first time.
Yeah.
And it was just so random that I was like, all right, I'll give in and we'll watch it. And it surprisingly, I was surprisingly pleasantly surprised is the way I should say it, how well I liked it, expecting the exact opposite.
Boy, he does a lot of character voices more than anything else.
Is that
I've
what he
seen.
does these days, you mean?
Yeah, everything is voices. I haven't seen anything. I mean, we talked about Benchwarmer and some of those.
Yeah, but that's still been, 10 years ago at least? Bench
yeah,
warmers?
I mean, I can't
Longer than
find
that? It's gotta be
anything besides
15
some
years ago.
15?
Yeah, I mean, nothing really. I'm surprised.
Is he doing like cartoon voices?
Yeah, a lot of cartoon voices and stuff.
You know who did this the right way?
Who's that?
Was Matthew Broderick. Because he played an iconic character, and then he went, I'm going to Broadway for several years.
Yeah.
Before ever starting to go back into movies, it was like, I'm going to go away for a while.
After
I'm
Ferris
going to do
Bueller.
theater. He did like Project X and a handful of those movies, those 80s movies. But once you did Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you have to go away for a while because everyone's going to know you as Ferris Bueller.
Right, and you become
same thing happened with
character.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah. You have to go away after
Potter.
you play Harry Potter. You got to go away. And the cool part was when he showed back up, and a lot of times he was playing the bad guy, which was actually pretty smart for his part.
Yeah, to break that mold. Dude, the crazy
Yeah,
thing
he
is,
hasn't really done anything. I mean, he did some TV spots here and there, but since Blades of Glory, really, he hasn't done anything like on his that he started. Ah, poor guy.
yeah, I bet
He's
he's
a
still
dork.
making. I bet he's still making some bank. For
yeah,
sure.
please. Yeah, he's probably doing fine.
And especially with it being the 20-year, people are going to be going back and watching it over and over and over.
Celebrity net worth has him at $10 million.
That's a good living there.
There you go.
Good job.
All right.
He must be doing real well with Thelma the Unicorn, where
There
he
you
plays
go.
Reggie, the voice of.
Telling you,
There
those
you go.
voiceover jobs.
They're good if you can get them. They're few and far between, but they're good if you can get them. You're talking about Daniel Radcliffe a minute ago. J.K. Rowling was down in Savannah with her $150 million yacht. $150 million yacht, dude.
What a waste of money.
It does seem like that. I agree with
Can't
you.
you get like a
$150 million on a yacht?
$25 million yacht and be happy?
Yeah, I mean, look, you buy whatever you want. I don't care. But
I
it
don't
just
care
seems,
either.
It seems like, but the money she's made, I guess it probably seems like a $25 million
I just
yacht.
love the idea, and the joke has been that J.K. Rowling makes the Bible feel a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
As far as selling that many books.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like the Bible's going like, whoa, J.K.,
Yeah, hey,
settle
she's
down now.
starting starting to catch up a little bit. And now all the cast don't like her anymore because her stance on trans issues.
Oh, yeah.
And
she just tells it like it is.
Yeah, she calls it like it is. And now Daniel Radcliffe doesn't like her.
She's in trouble because she wants to recognize real women.
Yeah. Dude, don't
So
you dare.
stupid.
How dare you?
You people on the left are ridiculous. Silly goose. You're just a bunch of rascals.
Just a bunch of rascals. Exactly right. Morning Xtra at Extra 106.3. Joe Biden has horrible approval ratings, right? Everybody knows that. And I think Axios...
Deep fake.
Yeah, right. I think Axios is doing this new poll to shield Joe from those terrible numbers. I mean, his approval ratings are lower than any other president running for re-election in the last 50 years. So how do you combat that? You take the focus off Joe by making it about Trump. Look, Trump. They don't like Donald Trump. And there's the double haters, which Los brought up either early this week or late last week. I can't remember. And it was the double haters thing where they hate him so much, And so Joe's numbers are so in the tank. They're trying to say, well, look, everybody hates Trump too. Don't forget how much they hate Trump. This has got to be about both of them. How do we salvage what's happening to Joe Biden? We drag Donald Trump into this discussion too. So the poll from Axios, well, both are really, really disliked.
Yeah.
So it's not just Joe. It's him too. It's him too. That's the way they always spin it.
They all do it, right? I mean, they did it with, oh, well, yeah, Joe's old, and I agree that Joe's old, but so is Donald.
So's Trump.
Oh, I know he messed up that name and said, called out a dead person and shook invisible hands, but look at Trump at the end of this ramp as he runs down it and walks off. Like, yeah, he ran down the ramp. He didn't fall down the ramp.
But it's the same kind of thing, though.
Yeah.
If we have to say, but Donald Trump. Yeah, but Donald Trump. His ratings, his approvals are terrible. Yeah, but Donald Trump. That's the out.
But Donald Trump can stand up on a stage for 2 hours.
They're not going to bring that in, though. They're only going to.
Donald Trump didn't.
They'll never bring that in.
Yeah, he's not asking for a chair to sit down while doing a debate that no other president has asked for a chair for in 100 years.
I mean, if I could, and not that they'll ever agree to it, and you're basically jumping into you're in the lion's den, all right? Because you're going to go on CNN. It's going to be 3 versus 1. You're going to have 2 people that are asking questions, and here's Biden. Man, if I was Donald Trump, and they'll lose their mind, but I would just say, yeah, I'm going to stand instead.
Yeah. You let him
I'm going to stand for this. He'll sit. I'm going to stand the entire time.
I love it. That's a great idea.
And as soon as they start losing their mind a couple minutes in, it's like, I prefer to stand. I'm going to stand for America. Now, it's a ploy. It's a tactic. It's a little bit of violating the rules. But see what Joe does.
Who cares if it violates
See if Joe
rules?
can stand for 90 minutes or 60 minutes.
Gives Joey a rule that he doesn't want to violate. I mean, every time the Supreme Court strikes down one of his unconstitutional executive orders, he still does it. He's breaking the rules. Yeah, I think it's a good idea, man.
If I were, look, I mean, I'd love to play the game, and because if I were Donald Trump, not only would I stand, but I'd be like, I brought my own podium and bring it out. And
exactly.
And it says 47 on it and the presidential seal.
All right.
45/47 on it right up front.
Yeah. But I mean, I love that idea, Carlos. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, he should. He should stand up and say, I don't need to sit down. I'm not old and withered. I don't need to lay on a beach and look like a old corpse. I don't need to go to Delaware to get my medicine put in me. I'd rather stand here and talk to the American people about the things that matter, and that's the economy. I know you're all hurting. Don't worry, I'm going to bring back the Trump economy, and you're all going to be okay again. Or, hey, don't worry, we're going to get inflation down, gas down, and we're going to bring it back to where it was before we allowed these socialists and communists to sit here in front of us and tell us that he's fine.
Voters dislike both candidates, but the intensity for Trump's negatives are so much higher. That's according to Democrat pollster Jeffrey Pollack.
It's like 2 kids, right? This is like when you go to your kids and you go, hey, why did you eat that cupcake? Well, Jimmy did it first.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's the same game.
Democrats are children.
It's so dumb. How do we make sure that we put something on Trump because Biden's failing at it? Now, if they had something to run on, if they had some sort of positive note to run on, that they would be using that. But they don't. They're merely spinning how bad things are for Biden. This is the way things are going to work from now through November. See, also Trump. Yeah, but Trump. That's the way Axios is doing this whole article. How do we? They even say, "Oh, well, Biden definitely going to win over the double haters.
Yeah.
Trump can't. He won't."
But this is what they do. They don't actually come with policy and say, "Hey, this is how we're going to fix the economy. Hey, this is where we made mistakes. This is where we did." What they do is go, "Hey, we got Tim Scott here, who's really strong, and we're thinking about him as a VP candidate." And they go, "Well, he's not really black."
Yeah,
exactly. He's not really black. He's actually just a tool, a pigeon. That's the game that they continue to play. And they always go with, "Hey, let's bring them back down because we're actually the ones who are the racists. We're the ones who are doing all these things. We're the failures. So we're going to try to bring you down to our level." I'll tell you one thing. People who are miserable will try to bring everybody else down to their miserable level with them.
That's why we all run from this stuff.
Yeah. That's right. That's good. Right. Yeah, exactly right.
It's like as soon as somebody starts wanting to tell me about their divorce, I'm like, "That's great. See you later."
Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. I hate that happened. Bye-bye.
But this is every Democrat. I got a tweet yesterday, which wasn't even worth responding. This Democrat, powerful Democrat was, the AG is now, indicting this man. See, it's not just weaponization against Trump. Dummy. It's not even the same cases. It's not even the same thing. You're going to continue to play this game because you don't want to look at your party and realize that you're the corrupt party. You're the idiot. You're going to continue to follow them. This is the game that they always play. Yeah, we did it, but look, they're bad too.
Why does this matter? This whole but Trump? Because the block of double haters has ballooned in size to the surge of Biden's unpopularity since 2020. Polls suggesting that Biden has 16 to 20% of the electorate that despises him. And those are the people that just will not. I mean, those have to be guys that they are freaking out about, that they know they can't win back. Even though in the article, if you read it from Axios, they will say, "Oh, yeah, when it comes to November, they're going to swing back right in Joe's place. They're definitely going to vote for Joe Biden." Well, that's a big if. That is a big old if.
No, what they're saying is, like Fulton County right now is like, "Hey, where are those 386,712 ballots? Like, we need to look at." Well, during the recount, we thought, where are the ones from Election Day that we can't find? Blah blah blah. That's how they're going to go ahead and say, see, they all came back at 1:30 a.m. on election night. They all came back and voted for Biden again.
Morning Xtra and Xtra 106.3. Breaking news: Justin Timberlake arrested for DWI. Goodness gracious.
All right.
Buddy.
Got to get back in them news.
What a good role model. That's great. I can't wait to see Trolls 7.
Right. Do you think anybody even knows that he's the voice or does the music?
Yeah, of course. JT can't do anything wrong. This is only going to help him.
Yeah, probably so.
As long as he didn't hurt.
It's like a Trump thing.
As long as he didn't hurt anybody.
Are they going to do a more at the end of the next Trolls End? Drunky troll.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you're due through a chair
drunky troll
off of a honky tonk, and everyone's like, "Man, what? He's a lot of fun."
Yeah, no kidding, man. Dude,
must have had a good reason.
I've never been a huge J. Tim fan. I don't dislike him, but I think
he's talented as can be.
Yeah, me too, but it's just that I've never enjoyed his music. It's not anything that I listen to with any regularity.
No.
Say Something with Chris Stapleton. I thought that was okay, but I don't even listen to that one that much, and I love Stapleton. Anyway, 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your Atlanta exterior solution. Call them today if you need anything done to the exterior of your home. 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co. The governor of Maryland, which likely you wouldn't be able to recall his name without us telling you. He may be a big factor, however, coming soon. You may want to learn his name. I'll tell you what it is and why you should know it. Next on Xtra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Hey, it's the Kimmer. Look out. The Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6, just like the Kimmer. Yeah, I had my chart here from the other day to show the price differences between the last week of Donald Trump and the beginning, and currently from last week of Donald Trump to today. McDonald's McChicken was $1.29 under Trump. It's now $3.89. That's an increase of 201%. Taco Bell had their beefy 5-layer burrito was $1.69 under Trump. It's now $3 $3.69. That's 118% increase. And let's do Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, my friends, the medium waffle fries were $1.65. Now they're $2.99. That's 82% higher. And one more, the Chick-fil-A nuggets were $3.05. Now they're $6. That's 96% increase. Everything is up.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
When you're leaving the house, do you plead with your garage door? Please open, please open. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Let us take that anxiety away with one quick call. Our highly trained technicians will get to the bottom of your garage door issues. It could be a simple repair, a malfunctioning opener, or maybe just needs a tune-up. But if it's time for your garage door to be replaced, we'll make that easy too with upfront pricing and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All, the number 4, Seasons Garages. Have
you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the marketing madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Extra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
Don't miss the Atlanta Mushroom Festival, Sunday, June 23rd at Park Tavern in Piedmont Park. Beginning at 12 p.m. and ending at 7 p.m., this dog and family-friendly event features live music, educational speakers from the CDC and Emory, and over 30 mushroom-themed vendors. Early bird tickets are only $10, which directly supports the nonprofit festival. For more information, visit AtlantaMushroomFestival.com or Atlanta Mushroom Festival on all social platforms.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon background screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. horizonscreening.com.
Are you concerned about securing your family's future and assets? Look no further than Nelson Elder Care Law. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we offer absolute assurance and peace of mind through our comprehensive asset protection services. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com to explore how we can safeguard your legacy and provide tailored solutions for your family's well-being.
A musician with technical knowledge can play all the right notes, but one who cares enough to play from the heart gives music soul. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. unavailable. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Coffee, keys, and Extra 106.3. That's how I get to work and home.
We are talking about what Donald Trump should do during the debate here in about 10 days. Lowe suggested bringing your own podium.
No. I said stand up.
Stand up.
Rhino's like, and then pull out the podium.
That's right. Yes. Lay it all out on the line. Our buddy Rex has got some ideas in Stone Mountain. Rex, what's on your mind at 404-741-1230?
Good morning, gentlemen. I wanted to call and congratulate you on what you just said about the Democratic Party. Obama, Jill Biden, whoever it is that's actually running it behind the scenes, they're not stupid. They're idiots, but they're not stupid.
True.
They are in a battle, and I think the reason that they're having the debate so early is because they want to throw him in the deep end and sink or swim, because they know he's going to sink, and that will give them plenty of time to replace him and market the person they replace him with, whoever that may be. What this all reminds me of is the last scene in The Wizard of Oz, where the guy in the little curtain in the corner saying, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. That is exactly what is going on in our country today. And I want to thank you guys for pointing it out to everyone in a way in which people don't really have an argument to not understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward, man. Thank you, Rex.
Rex, appreciate the call. I will tell you this. Go to the Daily Mail. You can find it over in the UK. There's an article called The Secret Democrat Plot to Replace Biden Revealed. And it really has come down to, as it points out, the Biden administration wanted this as early as possible to prove that he's healthy and that he can skate through this. The other portion of the Democrat Party wanted it early as possible to be able to get rid of him and have a replacement. So, yeah, this is all coming to a head next week.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I love the way Rex said that. And what he's talking about, he realizes it. We all realize what's going to go on. And that does give him a little bit of time. But who's the next one up? Who's what they're going to do? Now, they may look at this like, kind of when you do that State of the Union rebuttal from the other party, you're like, all right, let's see how this superstar that we think is a superstar in our party reacts, or how the people react to him. So they're obviously, set to, hey, if we could throw someone in there that might be able to, let's see how they'll pan out in another 4 years when we have to go up against someone like DeSantis and worry about another 8 years over a Republican. We got to find a superstar now. So they may throw him out there early to get him some reps, using a sports reference more than anything, and get him out there to get that done.
Yeah, no, I think Steve Forbes actually brought it up. We played the cut yesterday when he was saying it's one of 3 governors. And the Maryland governor was certainly one.
Really brought this to a lot of people's attention. And if you haven't listened to the Janelle King show, you can download that on our app. And I suggest you do, because she's brought this up. And she brought the fact that, hey, why did Biden bring Wes Moore with him to Atlanta when he has Kamala Harris? Well, there's a good reason. This man is well loved in, his community, and he does a great job, and he speaks so well. I'll give Wes a lot of credit. I mean, he's doing the things that you need to do. And just yesterday, because we talked about it yesterday, I brought it up yesterday. Hey, watch out for Wes Moore. This is the guy you need to pay attention to. This is who you're supposed to look for. And part of that reason is because the man is right there in Maryland, which is right next to D.C. Obama's right there. And what did he do? One of the biggest things that Donald Trump did was bring back the 1994 crime bill. Bill Clinton and Joe Biden are personally responsible for jailing more black men and women and children than anyone else with what they put in. So what do? You go into Maryland and you say, hey, guess what? We are going to make sure that there is a mass pardon of 175,000 marijuana convictions. Right. And that is such a strong move by Wes Moore. They're grooming this man, and they're making sure that he's ready to go. And this could be the guy that steps in.
I think it's a strong possibility, because who else you got? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the bench is empty, so you're having to groom somebody on the fly. And I do believe if they were to push Joe Biden aside, or whether he stepped down or they forced him down, either way, dude, in 5 months, they have plenty of time to say, this is our guy, and Democrats would fall in line without a doubt. It would be like dominoes falling.
Yeah, he doesn't speak in circles. Okay, he doesn't do the word salad like the lady that's VP now. This is a man who can get up there and deliver a really powerful speech to the point where even when he was talking about this and signing it, and he was talking about policy making is powerful. And if you look at the past, you see how policies have been intentionally deployed to hold back entire communities. Okay, he's going to use that and basically blame the Republicans when in reality we know it was Joe Biden and Bill Clinton who held back the entire black community by putting these sweeping and unapologetic laws into place. So now he's going to reverse that for the Biden administration. And again, standing ovations every single time he speaks. He's a powerful, powerful person you need to keep an eye on.
I did get a kick out of this over the weekend. So I was driving to Florida to do the thing, and I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast, and they had Freeway Rick Ross. Mm-hmm. So this is the guy that was basically this kingpin in Los Angeles of cocaine. And the rapper Rick Ross ended up stealing his name basically and then rapped about cocaine and everything else. Snowfall, the show on FX, is based on this guy's life. And they used 3 strikes against him. The only reason why he got out of prison after 20 years is because they realized we gave you 3 strikes even though you only committed 1. And so a generation of young men were put in prison during that time period, oftentimes for the rest of their lives, and were hit up with 3 strikes even when they didn't have it. That's part of the legacy of Joe Biden there.
Yeah, man. It is something that people need to be ready for. Buckle up. These next 5 months are going to be bumpy. Did y'all see what Mark Cuban had to say about Donald Trump?
Oh, Mark Cuban.
Gaffe after gaffe after gaffe. But then compared to what Trump has done or said, he pointed out Charlottesville. He pointed out the Proud Boys. He pointed out bleach and COVID. He pointed out weather maps and all this stuff. Just these misleading stories, blatantly untrue. It's a cover for Biden completely being unfit mentally. Like, it's such an odd stand, though, because he's not a dumb man. He knows what he knows that those stories aren't real. He knows it.
But this goes back 20 years. Mark Cuban tried to go head-to-head in the television front with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump basically buried him.
Yeah, destroyed him.
All right, it just did not work out for him. And Donald Trump let him know about it. Let him know about his low ratings and how it was, here's The Apprentice, and Mark Cuban was the benefactor, and it just never worked. They were going head-to-head. And so he's forever held this grudge against him. Now, if you're going to reference all of these things, it's amazing how when they tell us all the time, well, that's misinformation. Mark Cuban is spouting the very misinformation of giving you 30-second sound bites completely out of context and then saying, he told you to take bleach. No, he didn't.
Donald Trump's full of misinformation. He even told you he's going to be a dictator. You just gave us misinformation. That's Mark Cuban. That's the Democrats. That's exactly who every single one of them is. It's a distraction. I find it really ironic that Mark Cuban is this person who is continuing to, play this game and get involved with this entire election and try to spread. I just don't get it.
Well, Mark Cuban, and this is the weird part about it, Mark Cuban is a self-made man who, when he was in college, saved up enough money to buy his own bar and then started working things from there. He's the epitome of, I did it, here's how I created it, I'm an entrepreneur, government stayed out of my way. The weird part about it is then when he went to the NBA and he bought the Dallas Mavericks, do you realize that the only reason we have the last 2-minute report, last 5-minute report is because he complained about officiating, how it needed to be better. He bucked the system the entire way.
Yeah.
And in his older age now, 25 years down the line, he's now fully the system.
Yeah, it's like Rage Against the Machine, man.
Yeah.
That band now rages for the
How
machine.
did you do it this certain way, and then you just became part of the machine?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to describe. And he comes off as so likable on Shark Tank, and I think that's where people know him from the most.
He's a likable person. I was fortunate enough to meet him a couple times. In fact, one of the cool things he did when I worked at a radio station in Dallas, he came on and basically told us, that's your TV? He bought us this 60-inch TV to put in the room. Like Mark Cuban generally is a pretty cool dude.
And he was a disruptor. Like, he disrupted the NBA more than anyone else. He's like, you know what?
David
Go ahead,
Stern,
find me.
Find him over and over and over again. How did he become part of the system?
And now he's the part of the system. He's like, you know what? I will pay my fair share. Yes, I'll give you as much. Like, it's just a weird switch for me on Mark Cuban, but there's obviously something bigger at play for him.
I'm so surprised when I see people that I have at least a shred of respect for.
Yeah,
doing something that is so not disrespectful is not the word, but devious, low down.
Yeah,
somebody I wouldn't expect somebody of his caliber to just completely go down the road of Charlottesville and Proud Boys and Bleach and January 6th, and he says, you know, one president felt such loss of control he had to go to the White House shelter. We can disagree about what they meant, but I don't think we can argue that they were cell phones, that the cell phones were on a level of greater impact. And he's talking about Biden owning his gaffes. I thought I had respect for Mark Cuban, and all of a sudden, I don't know that I do.
Like, I don't mind if you politically think different or you're wanting something else,
but that's
to
misleading.
lie,
Yeah, that's misleading.
to
That's the
throw
thing.
out misinformation.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem with this entire story. Mark Cuban's entitled to his opinion. Rob Reiner's entitled to their stupid opinions. But when they throw out the lie after lie after lie and then throw out misinformation and then call the other side misinformation, it just falls on my deaf ears.
But injecting bleach, Los, I mean, that's what he's peddling the inject
Nobody's ever
bleach.
said that.
In 2000,
exactly, that's the point.
In 2002, Mark Cuban was fined $500,000 for questioning game officials by David Stern. By the time he left the league, maybe the most successful commissioner in the history of sports as far as growth from one to the next.
Yeah.
He fined Mark Cuban $100,000 on his way out in 2014 for criticizing game officials. This was somebody that you thought was questioning the system. Maybe he's just a baby complainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it really just comes down to.
How sad is that to think, though?
I know. And that's unfortunate because this guy was supposed to be the one who was shaking up the league and changing things for the better. And it just turns out he was complaining in his own interest and his own politics.
The
whiny child.
The whole time.
Just a whiny child.
Dude, the NBA is full of those people. How about Pop? How about, was it Kerr, Steve Kerr?
Oh, I know.
Dude, there's plenty of them.
It hurts. I watch Spurs games and I hold my nose at times.
I know. You have
You're
to.
a communist like them.
Yeah. But you know what? I support the team regardless.
I know. Wait,
Because you know what? I was here before he was. I'll be here after he's gone.
No, I think it's a good point. I can't. I struggle with that, man. I just, it turns me off so much. I just turn the TV off. I just
hate basketball.
I love basketball, but
I like college basketball.
I just love basketball, and I like the NBA a lot. I just don't watch it ever anymore. Morning Extra at Extra 106.3 with a serious face. They continue to say what Trump is going to do as soon as he's back in office, and it's sinister. Blah. Next on the Morning Extra at Extra 106.3 as we wrap up the bonus hour.
Atlanta radio legends collide on Extra 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Making your house your castle is so simple to do. When you pull up, do you love it as much as the day you bought it? Or do you think it needs a facelift? Could there be something that would improve it? Could you make a slight adjustment? Could you make an exterior adjustment, an exterior facelift that would turn it right back into that house that you bought that you love? If that's the case, let me introduce you to Southern Exteriors. Hey, it's Tug. I just had this same experience. Our house, we love it. Now, it's too big for us, so we would love to downsize. However, the economy does not allow for that. You hear us to talk about that on the show all the time. But since we can't, we're like, well, let's sink the money that we have into our home. Let's pour the money there because that's our biggest investment. So we went with painting. And let me tell you, the facelift is amazing. Get so many compliments from the neighbors asking who we used. Southern Exteriors, southernexteriors.co. 8779 Southern, roofing, siding, gutters, porches. They do complete exterior remodels, windows, doors, they do it all. They'll look you in the eye, shake your hand, and do exactly what they said they will do. I am living experience. I can tell you that for sure. And they won't make you wait. They've got a on-site foreman, no waiting. Foreman you can ask questions for anytime, and excellent service. What are you waiting for? Make your house your castle. Again, southernexteriors.co.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to the Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Intelligent technology that's more intuitive. Electrified power wrapped in sporty elegance. Meet the 2024 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan. The leader of the pack with a sensual interior, the C300 sedan is a driver's delight and paradise for passengers. Experience the 2024 C300 sedan today. Lease one for just $539 per month for 36 months with $48.33 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models. And visit today to see how to qualify. We'd love to welcome you to the RBM of Atlanta family. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta Sandy Springs through July 1st, 2024. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
A verdict that has truly changed America.
This has never been, this is outrageous.
What will happen next? Trust Atlanta's only conservative voice for the real answers and the perspectives that matter to you.
Why did nobody step in when they saw what was going on in New York?
This is Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Be afraid. Be very, very afraid of Donald Trump in his second term if he is lucky enough to get it. Be scared to death because he is going to, well, he's coming after his enemies, Los.
This is so much fun. This is what they've been reduced to on MSNBC. And this is one of their analysts. What's going to go on? And they're showing up on Morning Joe.
So stupid. I know. I sat in line. Man, this is so dumb.
So this is a minute two. Take a listen as this is supposed to be serious talk, serious analysis of what is going to happen. Now, I rub my hands together, but if you don't think this is anything other than scare tactics, take a listen.
Irritable interpretation of what Bill Barr is saying here, right, is something like the president of the United States on a regular basis would blow off steam. I think that was his phrase, right? Yeah, he would get mad. Right. And he would say things around the table like, let's imagine saying something like, not, I want to have this leaker found and executed. But let's imagine he's just blowing off steam. He's saying, if we could find that leaker, I'd like to take him out of the back of the White House on the South Lawn and have him shot. And let's say he wasn't being serious. Let's just say he was blowing off steam, right? As a matter of presidential temperament, is that the guy you want to have behind as the commander-in-chief, sitting in the Oval Office, a guy who, when he's frustrated, when he's blowing off steam, again to use Barr's formulation, is someone whose way in which he exercises his frustration is to casually talk about having people who work for him shot, executed in some way. Well, I don't know if that's by hanging or by a guillotine or by the firing squad.
You're a bunch of idiots.
Dude, this is what he's talking about as far as this person's not doing well, we should fire them, here's the issue. And he turns it into execution.
But imagine. That's what he said, right?
Well, yeah, every time, yes.
So this isn't real. This isn't anything that was actually said. This is them making it up. And imagine. Let me ask you guys a question. Who's the only person that you know as a president threatened to actually slap someone or hit someone?
Joe Biden did tell a man a couple different times during the campaign that he would fight him.
And then you had to...
look at my arms.
If you want to fight back, if you have any issue with the federal government, you better have an F-15.
Yeah.
I remember
threatened to eliminate his own constituents.
He sat in front of us in Philadelphia with the Marines behind him and threatened half of Americans that if they didn't comply, he would go after him. He told us that you were in for death. It was going to be a winter of death for the unvaccinated. He told, just in the most recent article, that when somebody asked him a question, he started threatening the younger reporter that he could beat him up.
He could beat him up. That he said that, his arm is still strong, that he could hit him. Like, this is the president that we should be worried about. Crazy. Yeah. I'm more worried about the crazy old man getting upset because I've seen it. He's the one who unprofessionally called another reporter a son of a bitch. Yeah. And that was Peter Doocy. Anybody that he has dealt with that asks him a tough question, look what he does with the threatening and the this is so silly. And I love that the Democrats go that far out because it does make it seem more ridiculous than ever, right?
I mean, you take something like, for instance, if Tug was to say to Joe Virgin River, hey, Joe, I'm going to need you to stay late. All right. If I'm on MSNBC, I would take that as, you know what? Tug is the most evil person in the entire world. He told Joe he can't even leave the office ever.
Never getting to leave.
In fact, he strapped him to the board and told him, you can't leave, and you know what? You better do a better job or you're not going to get fed.
Imagine that.
Imagine what Tug meant by saying you need to work late.
I listened to the show. Funny to me, man, is when my grandpa used to do things like this. My Papa Coward, he would tell me, I'm going to stand you on your head, or I'm going to beat you to death. If you do that again, he said it all the time.
Sure.
But I never took him like that. I never thought my grandfather was going to beat me to death because it was just something you said. So when Trump says we're going to take somebody out back, that doesn't mean anything to me because that's what I grew up with.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a way for them who are so sensitive. Listen, I listened to the show this morning. I was part of it when Joe has told us he hasn't eaten because of you, Tug. So I don't know. You are kind of a dictator, and that's what they do. Listen, they're going to take anything and make it seem like, oh wait, we're going to take this and we're going to multiply it by 20, and then we're going to say, well, imagine that this is exactly what happened. Please imagine this happened.
Because it didn't really. You have to imagine.
Really happen.
But this is their form of entertainment. Okay, that isn't news. It is disguised as news. It looks like it's on a news set, but it's entertainment. It's catnip for them.
Yeah,
I think we do a much better job of actually covering news, and obviously we're going to give you a conservative view of it, but we actually are much more critical of each side than you're ever going to get from MSNBC, who invents things. Again, this person is on there saying, imagine. What's there to imagine?
To imagine.
I sat through 4 years of a presidency, didn't see one person hung, shot, or guillotined on the South Lawn.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's funny you bring up the news thing. Rhino, at his laptop right now, could create a news a news website or a news.
Sure.
He could make this show look like a news show with supers at the bottom and logos. And he can make it look like all that. It doesn't change the fact that it's not. You know what I mean?
We're still opinionists.
That's exactly right. And that's
pretend to be a journalist.
Yeah, that's exactly what MSNBC does, though. They pretend. They pretend.
Imagine them being news.
Imagine them. That's right.
Imagine
it's not
them,
news.
Yeah, imagine them being journalists.
It's there for Aunt Peg.
That's right. And let me tell you, she is eating it up.
Oh, she right now.
Buddy, it's like watching those goats eat out of my hand.
She's at home. She's petting all the cats, all 7 of them, and she's like, he's going to execute people on the South Lawn. He's going to order it.
Say it. I heard him say it.
I heard him say it. He'll be a dictator from day one.
She threw that one out there, and I was just like, you know what? I got to the bathroom. I'll return to the table in a moment. You know, just because I didn't want our whole vacation to turn into.
I couldn't hang out with them.
I know.
I'll be honest. Like, my family members, if they're going to act like that, I'm not going to see them.
Yeah.
Like, I love you as a family member. Call me, you know, but don't talk about this stuff or I don't want to be around you. Because you're that stupid. I don't want to deal with your stupidity. I hate dealing with the stupidity. Yeah, I play games here and there on Twitter, but I'm not even going to respond anymore when you're that stupid and you can't see
I just don't
reality.
Engage with family or friends that go down that road.
No, exactly. That's why I said. That's why I excuse myself.
I always do the same thing. I have a friend of mine who was joking around over the weekend. Somebody I think very highly of, and she's like, "When are you going to quit doing that crazy stuff in the morning?" And I just said, "I'll get around to it."
Yeah, at some point.
Because I'm not going to sit there and argue with her over it. Because all that's going to end up, it's going to end up the same way. I'm going to pretzel them. Then they're going to be mad at me.
That's right.
And then at that point, now it's going to take a week before they get over it. It's not productive in that case.
But I heard that Trump is going to take someone out in the backyard and kill him.
That's look.
Carlos,
they imagined that.
Imagine.
Imagine.
Imagine if based on this,
like a big
based
what if.
on this.
Yeah, I'm imagining that it's going to happen when people vote for him.
But
crazy ass.
Can you imagine being that way where you're saying, I know he's going to murder people and you have to follow along with me down this path of make-a-believe.
Yeah.
This is what you have to do.
Make-a-believe.
Please
come along on this ride.
Jump through these hoops with me as we sit on national television while very few people are watching, but enough.
Well, you notice when we heard that piece of audio, it's just the one analyst talking and nobody else is saying anything.
Well, who
said.
would dare to get into and sound that ignorant?
You're not going to validate it at all. You're sitting back and saying, you're going down a road that I'm just going to let you just go down that road.
Well, but you know why? Because if they go up to him, they have to deal with that crazy person, and that person is unhinged and crazy.
It's almost like a family member.
Yeah, I don't deal with people like that.
It's like when I talk about aliens, how both you guys quiet down.
Whoa. Not both of us.
No. You and me are the Bigfoot.
Yeah, we're the Bigfoot.
Yeah, and that's when Tug gets quiet. He's like, hang yourself on that one.
Yeah, y'all go ahead. Talk about Bigfoot all you want. That'll do it for us. Another glorious day on the Morning Extra. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you'll stick around throughout the rest of the day. If you missed any of the show this morning, go back and listen to it on the Extra 106.3 app. It will be available there for you. And, of course, it's free as long as you have the Extra 106.3 app, so make sure you download that if you don't have it. But otherwise, we appreciate it, and we want you to come back real soon, or at least hang out through the rest of the day. The Glenn Beck program next, Clay and Buck after that, local afternoon show with our own Yosemite Sam, the Kimmer Show. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your exterior solution in Metro Atlanta, 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co. Y'all come back now, you hear?